This is ChestertonRadio.com.
Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is back on the air. Buck and Wilma and all their fascinating friends and mysterious enemies in the super-scientific 25th century. Now, this program is brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. Now I have a swell surprise for you. The famous winner of the Typical American Boy contest has now become Popsicle Pete. And here's a message from him.
Hello, everybody. I sure am glad to meet you. And boy, am I glad I was picked to be the typical American boy. Because now I'm Popsicle Pete. I always wanted to be on the radio, and now I have a chance to tell you about some wonderful presents you can get, free. Gee, you ought to see them. Hundreds of them. You get them just for saving bags from nifty Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. Some gifts, even better than Christmas. You can get a wristwatch, a movie camera, table tennis, a wallet, a doll. Gee, lots of gifts. Just save the bags from Popsicle, Creamsicle, and Fudgicle on a handy stick. Boy, do they taste good.
Wholesome, too, and nourishing. Made fresh every day of the finest ingredients. The biggest 5 cents worth anywhere.
And say, kids, get the free illustrated Popsicle gift list at your ice cream store. A free coupon comes with it, worth 10 bags.
And now for Buck Rogers and his thrilling adventures 500 years in the future. As you probably know, Buck was born right here in our own times, in this 20th century. And the story of how he got started on his amazing adventures so far in the future is mighty interesting. But instead of telling you about it, let's turn the dial that'll project us ahead in time and find out all about it that way. Now, the capital of 25th century America is Niagara. And there it is that Dr. Huer, the great scientist, has his marvelous laboratory. In one room of it, he's working on a strange-looking device that sends a peculiar greenish light down onto a human figure lying on a table before him. Shall we join him there? Okay, then, here we go. 500 years into the future.
The ray is putting you to sleep. To sleep. Relax and sleep. 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 Good. The ray's had its effect. Now I can go ahead. Yes, come in. Oh, hello, Wilma.
Hello, Dr. Hewitt. My, why don't you have more light in here? Coming in from outside, I can hardly see a thing in this spooky greenish glow.
Part of a little experiment I'm conducting.
Oh.
But tell me, have you seen anything of Black Barney here in Niagara?
Why, no. Hasn't given up his job of Prime Minister on Mars, has he?
Oh, no. But one of his Martian rocket ship factories has worked out a new control device for me. I rather hoped he'd get here with it today.
Oh.
Meantime, I've made ready for a final test of this little invention here. Like to stay and see it?
I'd love to, Doctor, and you know it, but I just dropped in to find out if you'd seen any sign. Oh.
What's the matter?
Doctor, what's happened to him?
Eh?
Is he all right? Doctor!
I see.
What's happened to him? Why is he lying here on the table?
Don't worry, Wilma.
Don't worry. Doctor, what are you...
He is offered to be the subject of my test. That's all.
But then, why is he...
Simply lying here, comfortably asleep, under the influence of my electro-hypnotic rays.
Oh, I was afraid something had happened to him.
Not a thing. Surely you don't think for a minute that I'd do anything
No, of course not. But the electro-hypnotic ray... Are you sure this experiment won't hurt him in any way?
Oh, absolutely sure.
Well, you can't blame me for being a little shocked for a minute. But what's that thing up near his head that looks like a miniature power plant with a loudspeaker on top of it?
That, Wilma, is my latest scientific achievement. My newly perfected electro-hypno-mentalophone.
Your what?
Well, you remember the mentaloscope, don't you?
Sure. When you put a person under the mentaloscope, all his memories showed up on a sort of moving picture screen.
That's right. And this is an adaptation of it.
Oh.
With this, the electro-hypno-mentalophone, the memories of the subject will come to us verbally, through the loudspeaker here. Provided, of course, that my calculations have been correct.
Sort of read a person's mind aloud, you mean?
Yes, that's it exactly.
Where do you ever get ideas for things like this, Dr. Hewer? Surely people don't just barge in and ask you to work them out.
Hardly. The scientific research and experimentation that led up to the development of this machine was started way back in the 20th century.
Why, I always thought that the people back in the 20th century weren't much better than savages in what they knew about scientific things.
Oh, not at all, Wilma. Oh, we owe a great deal to the scientists of those days. Were it not for the groundwork laid by men like Einstein, Fitzgerald, Compton, Millikan, and the rest, we'd be without a great many of the things we have today.
They never really got anywhere with rocket ship development or anything like that, though, did they?
Well, successful rocket flight depends on two things that have been brought into existence only recently.
One of them must be inertron.
Yes, inertron. The material that defies gravity and makes it possible to lift a big spaceship off the Earth and away from its terrific gravitational pull without too much waste of power.
And what's the other?
Impervium. The only metal capable of withstanding the high temperature of rocket blasts for any length of time. But now, let's go ahead with this experiment.
Yes, let's. And you can tell me how this apparatus works as we go along, just what it does to them.
Well, not very much to tell you about the apparatus itself, Wilma, except that here, in this little pad under his head, is an extremely sensitive and high-frequency response piezoelectric oscillator of quite complicated design.
Yes, I guess so.
Yes. And I've succeeded in tuning it to receive the minute electronic impulses that emanate from his brain.
Yeah?
Through the medium of a super-radiating protonoformer.
Oh, yes, Oh, what?
In other words, we're able to obtain sufficient amplification of the impulse output to register audibly through a process of thermionic note magnification. That's all there is to it.
I think I'll understand it better when I see this thing work.
I shall be very much disappointed if it doesn't.
Oh, don't you worry about that, Doctor. Your inventions always work.
I have been rather lucky in most of my experiments, haven't I?
Lucky.
Well, now let's proceed with this one.
All right. Anything I can do to help?
No, thanks. First of all, we'll have to switch in the electronoformer.
Gives the electronoformer a sort of eerie sound.
Yes. And now, when I switch on this microphone and speak to him, my words will be registered directly on his brain. Not through his ears, you understand, but directly on his brain.
Uh-huh.
And if we're successful, we'll receive his subconscious response through the loudspeaker.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Now, young man, what is your name? I said, what is your name?
Buck Rogers.
Wilma, it works.
But, Doctor...
My invention's a success.
But, Doctor, what happened?
It works even better than I thought it would.
He didn't move his lips, though. And how could we hear him talk if he didn't move his lips?
It read his mind aloud, Wilma. It read his mind aloud.
Sounded like his real voice, though.
Well, of course, because he thinks of speech in the same manner that the others do.
Great day, it doesn't seem possible. Ask him some more questions.
Yes, by all means. Listen. Buck, you were born back in the 20th century, were you not?
Yes, sir. But this is the 25th century.
Do you see, Wilma? His memory's preserved intact.
May I ask him a question?
Surely, go ahead. Go ahead.
Buck, how did you happen to come to the 25th century?
One day in the year 1919, I was in the lower workings of an abandoned mine near the city of Pittsburgh.
Yes?
All of a sudden, the supports that held up the walls and ceiling gave way, and the whole thing caved in on me.
Yes?
Some kind of peculiar gas was released. It put me to sleep. It kept me in a state of suspended animation for 500 years. Then the ground shifted and let in fresh air, and I woke up.
Well, how did you know you were in suspended animation for 500 years?
Instead of the year 1919, it was the year 24-something. To be exact, it was 24...
How did you know what year it was?
I was told about it by Lieutenant Wilma Deering, a beautiful girl soldier I met when I first did it.
Oh, then you knew Wilma Deering.
Oh, I certainly do. She's the finest and bravest girl who ever lived. Why, Wilma...
Buck Rogers?
Yes?
Did you find anything new and different when you first came into the 25th century?
A great deal, thanks to Dr. Hewer.
Dr. Hewer?
The greatest scientist who ever lived.
What's this?
Nowhere in the universe is there a scientist who's done so much good for humanity, or done anything that can even
wait. Wait a minute, Buck.
Yes?
Just forget Dr. Hewer and go on with what you were saying.
But he's the man who invented the first rocket ship that took us to the moon. And it was that trip that proved the practicability of interplanetary flight.
Practicability of interplanetary flight. Nothing wrong with this machine, Doctor.
Where else have you gone by rocket ship, Buck?
First to Mars, where we helped King and Aldo put down an invasion by the Martian Tiger Men.
Yes.
Then to Saturn and the Saturnian moon, Venus, Jupiter, and even far-off Pluto.
Which planet did you find most interesting?
Well, that's hard to say. Jupiter has the biggest field for exploration simply because it's so much larger than the rest of the planets.
Very true. Do you expect to do any more rocketing around through outer space?
Well, there's nothing else I'd rather do, sir.
Well, Wilma, you like my little contraption?
Oh, it's wonderful, Doctor. I told you it would work.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to ask, Buck, before I turn off this green ray?
Let's wake him up and see if he remembers anything that happened during the experiment.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Come on, Buck. Wake up.
Huh?
I say, wake up. You've been asleep.
Asleep?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hello, Wilma.
Hello.
Hey, where'd you come from? What are you doing here?
I've just been let in on the test of Dr. Hewer's
Electro-hypno-mentalophone.
Yeah.
Oh, doggone it. Instead of helping you with your test, I fell asleep. Say, I'm awfully sorry, Doctor.
Sorry?
Oh, yes, sir. I was going to help you.
I put you to sleep with this machine.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Oh, I guess that's one on me, then. How'd it work?
Even better than I expected.
Oh, good.
Oh, it was marvelous, Buck. You told us your whole life history without even opening your mouth.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
It's all right, Buck. You didn't say a single thing you shouldn't have.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Let's put Wilma under it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, you have to do something for excitement around here. Come on, Wilma.
Oh, you're never satisfied unless there's something exciting going on, are you, Buck?
Oh, it's not as bad as all that, Doctor, but things have been sort of slow around here lately. And
wait until we start making tests of the new type of Gyro cosmic relativator I've just devised.
A new one?
Isn't that the equipment on a rocket ship that makes it possible to take off without much loss of time for pickup?
That's right. And without the usual physical effects of too quick acceleration. It removes from your ship the normal effects of weight and inertia and momentum and the like.
Well, how have you improved the relativator, Doctor?
Buck, if this new instrument does what I hope it will, there'll be practically no limit to the speed of a rocket ship immediately upon taking off.
Good night. Imagine getting into the control cabin, opening the power lever, and going a couple of 1,000 miles an hour just like that.
That's exactly what we'll be able to do, Wilma.
Boy, that hardly seems possible, does it? But when can we test it out, Doctor? Have you already got it installed on a rocket ship?
No, Buck. As a matter of fact, I don't even have it yet.
Huh?
Oh, it's been made up all right. The one we used for the test, but it isn't right here yet.
I don't understand, Doctor.
Well, yes, sir. Can't we get it here? The sooner we can get it and start trying it out, the sooner we can break the monotony of just sitting around here doing...
Wait, Buck. Listen.
Oh, yes, Doctor. I hear it, too.
Well, yeah.
Hear it?
Yes, sir. But what under the sun is it?
Look here, out of the window.
Look, heavens, Wilma! And it's coming right down this way! Wilma! Oh! Say, Buck's wish for excitement certainly came true in a hurry. Great day. I wonder what that was. And I certainly hope he and Wilma and Dr. Hewer are all right. What do you say, Pete?
Well, I know what would make me feel all right. A great big frozen fudgicle. Jiminy, can you imagine anything better than that fresh, creamy chocolate fudge frozen ice cold on a stick?
Fellas and girls, what's the best, purest, biggest nickel's worth you can get? Right, a fudgicle. Delicious and full of healthful energy. Made only from pure milk products. Swell to eat and easy to digest. And don't forget to save the bags for those wonderful free prizes. Exciting gifts like cameras, dolls, sweatshirts, gorgeous jewelry, and lots of other things.
Now listen, kids. Be sure to get your free popsicle gift list at your ice cream store. Don't take no for an answer.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous winner of the Typical American Boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, everyone. Say, I wish you were here at the studio. What a room full of gifts you'd see. All for you. Roller skates, table tennis, cameras, fishing tackle, jewelry, dolls. Gosh, hundreds of things. You know how to get them? Just eat popsicle, creamsicle, and fudgicle. And save the bags.
Well, could anything be easier? Enjoy a great big delicious popsicle, fudgicle, or creamsicle every day and get wonderful gifts for the bags. A mother knows these frozen confections on a handy stick are pure and good for you. Made fresh every day. And boy, do they taste good. Refreshing. Nourishing. So big and only 5 cents.
Don't forget, save bags every day for swell gifts. Get that wonderful free popsicle gift list in your ice cream store. Tells you how many bags you need for the gift you want. And it's got a free coupon worth 10 bags.
And now for another thrilling episode of Buck Rogers. Back in 1919, you know, Buck was in the lower workings of an abandoned mine near the city of Pittsburgh when suddenly the walls caved in and a peculiar gas caused him to be held in a state of suspended animation for 500 years. Finding himself in the strange and exciting world of the 25th century, Buck quickly adapted himself to the use of rocket-powered spacecraft and other marvelous scientific developments that would seem almost impossible in our present day. With Wilma Deering and Dr. Hewer, Buck has visited Mars, and Venus, and Jupiter, Saturn, and even far-off Pluto. His life has been just one amazing adventure after another. Now, in our last episode, you remember, Buck, Wilma, and Dr. Hewer were discussing a new instrument for use on a rocket plane when suddenly... But let's join them. They're in Dr. Hewer's laboratory. Okay? Then here we go, 500 years into the future.
Yes, Wilma? If this new instrument does what I feel sure it will, there'll be practically no limit to the speed a rocket ship can attain immediately upon taking off.
Good night. Imagine getting into the control cabin, opening the power lever, and going a couple of 1,000 miles an hour just like that.
Oh, when can we test it out, Dr. Hewer? Have you already got it installed on a rocket ship?
No, Buck. As a matter of fact, I don't even have it yet.
Huh?
One's been made up all right. One we'll use for the test, but it isn't right here yet.
I don't understand, Doctor.
Oh, yes, sir. Can't we get it here? The sooner we can start trying it out, the sooner we can break the monotony of just sitting around here doing nothing.
Wait, Buck. Listen.
Yes, Doctor, I hear it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Hear it?
Yes, sir, but what under the sun is it?
Look here, out of the window.
Well, good heavens, Wilma. It's coming right down this way. Wilma!
Oh! Good night.
Hey, come on, folks. Whoever's in that rocket ship that crashed out there is going to need help.
Yes, Buck.
Come on.
Hang with you, Buck. It looked to me as though it deliberately cracked up right outside this laboratory.
Wilma's right, Buck. It certainly didn't look like a ship out of control.
Well, you can hardly call it an ordinary landing, and we'd better give whoever's in it... Hey, look, it's a Martian ship.
Right. See, the metal door on the side of it is open.
Wait. It's all right.
Wait.
All right, Doctor. Well, the people in that ship must
Wait,
be...
Buck. And listen.
You know, it's just exactly like I told you it would be. Here we are, safe and sound, and right on time.
Black Barney.
Oh, well, I'll be doggone.
I sure don't think we needed to land that fast, Mr. Barney.
And Willie's with him.
You see, he made me skin my knee against the control board.
Well, what difference does that make? We had to get down here into a hurry, didn't we?
My knee hurts, too.
And the only way was to land in a hurry, so we... Huh?
See?
Say, you did kind of get scratched up there now, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Here, Willie, you just put your arm around my shoulder, and I'll carry you right straight over to a hospital, yeah.
Oh, it didn't hurt that bad, Mr. Barney.
What do you mean it ain't hurt that bad?
Only I just thought maybe you didn't care.
Oh.
And anyhow, what about that important package you have on board here for Dr. Hewer?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, sir, we better get that gyro thing in Dr. Ewer's laboratory right this minute.
We'll take care of it, Barney.
Huh? Oh, hello, Dr. Ewer.
Hello. Hello, Willie. How are you?
Say, Doctor, how'd you know we'd got here?
Oh, don't worry, Barney. After that landing, the whole city knows you're here.
I should say so. It's a wonder you didn't break your neck.
Well, Dr. Ewer was in a hurry to get a hold of that gyro thing we brung down from Mars, so I figured the quicker we landed with it, the better.
Well, I hope it's all right after that landing.
Oh, sure it is, Doctor. I got it stowed away in the shock-insulated storage cabin.
Fine. Then my suggestion is that we fly right over to the spaceport. We'll have the gyrocosmic relativator installed on a ship I have waiting for it over there.
Oh, good. Then we can go right ahead and test it out.
Yes.
Well, Willie here needs to expose his bruised knee to a healing ray for a few minutes.
Oh, that's all right, Lieutenant Wilmer.
No, sir. Now, Willie, you do what Lieutenant Wilmer says to do.
It doesn't hurt, though. Much.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Barney, my little rocket roadster is parked out back of the laboratory building.
Yeah?
So you and Willie hop into that and go over to the hospital where they'll take care of that bruised knee. And meanwhile, we three will take this ship of yours over to the spaceport and install the gyrocosmic relativator on whatever sort of craft Dr. Hewer has waiting for it over there.
Okay, Captain Rogers, we'll do it. Come on, Willie.
Yes, sir. See you later.
All right, Willie.
Wait a minute. Listen, Doctor.
Yes, Barney?
Are you three going to try out that gyro thing, or are you going to have somebody else do it for you?
Why, we'll do it, of course.
Well, are you sure it won't be too dangerous, Doctor?
Dangerous? Oh, no.
Oh, don't you laugh, Doctor. If it'll do all the things you told me by radio it would do, why, it sounds to me like it might be dangerous or stuff.
No, not at all. And if you hustle over to the hospital with Willie, you can probably get out of the spaceport before we take over then.
Yeah, okay, Doctor. You're okay. Come on, Willie.
And come on, Wilma, Doctor. Let's get aboard here and over to the spaceport.
Yes, Buck. Now is the time to test this gyrocosmic relativator is here. I'm almost as excited about it as you appear to be.
All set, Buck. Close the metal door.
Right. Want to take the controls, Doctor?
All right, Buck. Here we go.
Huh. Never know this ship had been through that crash landing, would you?
Well, I don't know whether you've noticed it, Buck, but all these Martian ships are made very solidly.
Yeah, that's true. They're not very fast, but tough.
Well, isn't that perfectly natural? They're all made under Barney's supervision.
Right. But while you're steering us over to the spaceport, Doctor, I'm going to unpack the gyrocosmic relativator back here. Then we can begin installation on the other ship just as soon as we get there.
That's a good idea, Buck. And I'll radio ahead to Joe Martin there at the spaceport to have men and tools ready in order to save time. Calling Joe Martin at spaceport. This is Dr. Hewer calling Joe Martin at spaceport. Calling Joe Martin. That's it, Joe. Have your men fade the bank of photoelectric cells into that aperture in the main bank of rocket tubes.
Yes, sir, Dr. Hewer. All right, Al. Swing it right over here.
That's it. And as soon as you're through with the installation, have all this machinery cleared away.
Yes, sir. Should be all set for the tryout in a couple of minutes now, shouldn't it, Doctor?
Yes, Buck. Just as soon as they finish bolting down that side plate.
Oh, good. I'm anxious to get started with this experimental flight.
Wonder if Barney and Willie will get here before we take off. Barney apparently was quite interested in the gyrocosmic relativator.
Now, how about this power line, Doctor?
Oh, plug it into outlet number 1 there, Buck.
All right, sir. There it is. There it is, Doctor. It's all right. Uh-oh.
What's the matter, Buck?
Oh, nothing. I just scratched the back of my hand a bit, that's all. All ready for the takeoff now, Doctor.
Fine, Joe. Tell your men to clear away, and we'll go right up.
Yes, sir. They're on their way back to the main hangar now.
Good. Well, Buck, Wilma.
Say, look here, Buck. You've taken a really big piece of skin off the back of your hand here.
Oh, forget it. Let's get up in the air in this rocket ship.
Sir, you're as bad as Willie was. Joe,
Yes, Lieutenant?
don't you have a healing ray in your office?
Oh, sure, Lieutenant. Oh, forget it, Wilma. It'll be all right.
No, sir. Come on over to the office with me, and we'll put your hand under the healing ray for a minute.
Well, but... Oh, okay.
I'll go along with you so I can report to Central Radio Bureau and tell them where we are.
It's this way, right over here. It's silly to worry about a little scratch like this, Wilman. I'm anxious to get aloft for that gyrocosmic relativator on the ship. Right in here, Lieutenant Wilma. The healing ray's right there in the corner.
Here, Buck. Now put your hand under it while I turn it on.
Oh, okay.
There now. And don't turn it off until your hand is completely healed.
No, let's see. Where's this radio unit of yours, Joe?
Right here, Doctor. Oh, excuse me, sir. There's a call coming in on it now. Central Spaceport. Joe Martin speaking.
Central Radio Bureau. You seen anything of Dr. Hewer? We've been trying to locate him all over the city.
Why, sure. He's right here. Here, Doctor. This call's for you.
Oh, thank you. This is Dr. Hewer?
Urgent message for you, Dr. Hewer. The captain of the rocket police.
Yes?
says that one of the air guards has just discovered that your laboratory has been forcibly entered and completely ransacked.
What? Why, I just left there a few minutes ago.
Well, it was only discovered a couple of minutes ago. Shall I tell the captain you'll be right over?
No, as long as the rocket police are already there, no more damage will be done. I'm engaged in a very important experiment here that I can't leave at the moment. But I'll go back to my laboratory just as soon as I've finished with it. Meantime, they'll know what measures need to be taken and can proceed accordingly.
Yes, sir.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Well, I can't say that I like that.
Say, maybe we'd better postpone this test, Doctor.
No, Buck. It's the most important thing we have at hand right now, and we'd better go through with it.
Well, whatever you say.
But I wonder who could have done it. Surely Black Barney wouldn't have.
No. Powerful old Barney might absent-mindedly pull a locked door off its hinges to get in, but certainly he wouldn't be involved in ransacking my laboratory.
And anyhow, he's probably out at the test ship wondering why we don't get started.
Yes. Well, then, come along.
Better wait a second, Doctor. It may be another call for you. Central State. Oh, yes, sir. It's for you, Captain Rogers.
Okay, Joe, thanks. Buck Rogers speaking.
Central Radio, Captain. Order from the office of the President. The entire rocket police fleet has been placed at your disposal.
What?
All regular patrol ships are standing by awaiting your orders. You have full authority to proceed along any lines you may see fit.
Now, wait a minute. Is this because of the trouble at Dr. Hewer's laboratory?
No, sir. Something happened to one of the guards at the municipal prison. The automatic alarm system was completely wrecked, and the guard found lying in a storage room under the effects of a paralysis ray.
Great Scott, man. Who did it?
Killer Kane and Ardela, and they've escaped.
Doctor. Wilma, did you hear that?
Yes, Buck.
The worst criminals the solar system has ever known.
How could Kane and Ardela have escaped?
I don't know, but one thing's sure. We're going to have to call off this test flight.
Not at all, Buck.
Huh?
Now we must go ahead with it.
But, Doctor...
It'll take far more than the ordinary rocket ship to track down that pair, and that's just exactly what our Gyro cosmic relativator will provide.
Dr. Hugh is right, Buck.
Okay, then. Come on, let's go.
There's the ship, just waiting for us, and we can take off in it immediately.
Well, come on.
No, look!
There it goes. There goes our ship.
Well, somebody beat them to it. If you ask me, there's trouble ahead for our friends. Fellas and girls, is each day bringing you closer to those wonderful presents Popsicle Pete picked out for you? Are you saving bags for books and cameras, musical instruments, fishing tackle, dolls, jewelry, all the exciting things you want? Save bags every day from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. You'll soon have just the gifts you want.
Say, kids, did you ever try a creamsicle? Gee, it's wonderful. A great big chunk of delicious ice cream on a stick, coated with thick, chewy butterscotch.
Or you can get creamsicle coated with chocolate fudge or fresh fruit flavors. They're wholesome, too, full of the kind of nourishment we all need. And only a nickel for a great big creamsicle on a handy stick.
And don't forget to save the bags for those swell gifts.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. Now here's a message from the famous winner of the typical American boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Hey, kids, you should see the camera I picked out for you as a Popsicle present. A real movie camera. You can get it free. Just save bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, or Creamsicle. You get lots of swell gifts for those bags, hundreds of them. Flashlight, Buck Rogers rocket ship, tennis racket, wristwatch, beautiful dolls, swell jewelry. Just save bags from Popsicle, Creamsicle, or Fudgicle on a handy stick.
And when you're warm, isn't it great to have a big, cold, delicious Popsicle, Creamsicle, or Fudgicle? Boy, are they good, and do they last. They're good for you, too. Pure and nourishing. And wrapped in those valuable gift bags. The biggest nickel's worth you can get.
Get the free Popsicle gift list in their ice cream store. It's got a free coupon on it worth 10 bags.
And now for more of the thrilling adventures of Buck Rogers in the 25th century. In our last episode, you remember, Buck, Wilma, and Dr. Hewer were at the Central Spaceport, getting ready to make a test flight in a rocket ship equipped with a new invention called the Gyro Cosmic Relativator. But before they could board it, the huge craft took off right before their very noses. And as we pick up our story tonight, we find them there at the spaceport, standing where the ship was parked and trying to figure out who or what made it take off. Here we go. 500 years into the future. Well, there goes our rocket ship.
I don't understand.
Look, who could have taken it?
Beyond me, Wilma.
And the new Gyro cosmic relativator's on board.
Right. That's why it was able to take off so quickly.
Then whoever took it must have known about that relativator.
You're probably right, Wilma. But Black Barney's the only person I've told anything.
Dr. Hewer.
Yes, Bud?
That message that came in from Central Radio Bureau just before we came outside here to get into that ship.
Philip Kane and Ardela.
Oh, sure. If they just escaped from the municipal prison, the one thing they need most is a rocket ship. And those two wouldn't waste any time getting it.
You're right.
Yes, sir. They probably came right out here to the spaceport, saw our test ship standing there with nobody around it, and hopped right off in it.
Look there.
Huh?
They must have used one of those little air roadsters there to fly over here.
Unless they all belong to the workmen out here.
They certainly couldn't have walked out here in such a short time.
Well, come along anyway.
Well, where to, Doctor?
We'll take one of these little roadsters and go back to my laboratory.
Okay, come on.
You think there's some connection between this business of the stolen rocket ship and the report about the ransacking of your laboratory?
Exactly. Get in, Wilma.
Right.
Go ahead, Doctor. I'll take the controls.
Thank you. All ready, Buck?
Here we go.
Now, we may all be a little excited over the events of the past few minutes, but it's necessary that we take stock of the situation as calmly as possible and decide what we're going to do.
Good idea. The first thing that smacked of trouble was the call from Central Radio Bureau, saying someone had broken into your laboratory right after we'd left it.
Yes. And right on top of that came word of Kane and Ardela's escape.
Yeah. Immediately afterward, our experimental rocket ship took off right in front of our faces.
Then it's easy enough to figure out. Kane and Ardela broke out of prison, ransacked your laboratory for whatever equipment they could get hold of, raced over to the spaceport, and made a quick takeoff.
Sounds logical enough to me.
I still don't see how they covered so much ground in such a short space of time.
All depends on how long they were free before they were missed, Doctor.
Yes. Well, we'll find out when we reach my laboratory if the rocket police are still there.
Right. But I wonder what happened to Black Barney. He and Willie were going to meet us at the spaceport.
Well, Willie, it looks like this new invention of Dr. Yours on this here new test ship don't work.
Yes, sir, Mr. Barney. I guess you're right, all right.
Sure. I got all the power on she'll take, and we ain't even begun to move yet.
What it was supposed to do was let us take off and be going 1,000 miles an hour right away, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, take a look out of the Metalloglass window and see if Lieutenant Wilmer and Captain Rogers and Dr. Ure is coming out of the spaceport office to get into this here thing.
Yes, sir.
Well, are they coming, Willie? Or did the big rocket blast scare them away? Well, what is it? What about it? Why don't you answer me?
Mr. Barney.
Willie, what's the matter? You look like you just saw a ghost.
Look out of the window, Mr. Barney.
Huh? Sure, Huh? Hey, Willie!
You're a couple of 100 miles below us.
But we didn't take off. You hear me? We didn't take off.
It must be Dr. Ewer's invention. That's what did it.
Oh, but it couldn't be on account of we didn't take off, I tell you. Yeah, that's what it is, sure.
Boy, that's wonderful. Certainly had me scared for a minute, though.
Yeah, me too. Why, Willie, you mustn't let a little thing like that scare you. And don't you see? What we're doing is making the first official flying-out trip of the first rocket ship that was ever equipped with this new gyro thing.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and we're saving them all the trouble of having to try it out.
I thought you said you wanted to take off in it before they could, so there wouldn't be any danger for them.
Yeah, that's right. For me and you to try it out is all okay on account of if it didn't work and the whole place blew up, it wouldn't make no difference. But I wouldn't want Lieutenant Wilmer or Captain Rogers or Dr. Ewart to take no chances with something new like this. So that's why we done it.
Boy, certainly a great invention. How does it work?
Well, there's a lot of technical things about it I'm afraid you wouldn't understand, Willie.
Well, I can try to understand, Mr. Barney. Tell me.
Okay. Now, This here is a machine bolted down right here.
Uh-huh.
And the stuff on the side of it here is some kind of electric cells.
Photoelectric cells.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
But what are all these gears for?
Willie, that's what they call a sort of protono, hypnoto, deuterono, radio, and all that sort of stuff.
Huh?
You see, the Gyro Thomas stuff on the super neutron goes round the ultra-hyper thing that's connected with the elementary connection.
Well, I must say that whoever ransacked this laboratory of mine certainly made a good job of it.
Yes, but Dr. Hewer,
Yes, Wilma?
where are the rocket police? Why are they going to wait here for us?
Oh, here's your answer, Wilma.
Yes?
What is it, Doctor?
A note from their captain. Here, sir.
Oh, Dr. Hewer. I've just received word of Kane Ardale break from municipal prison. Believe that to be a logical place for us to center activities. Signed, Captain Barton. And to be honest with you, I'm glad that they aren't here.
Why do you say that, Doctor?
It'd be much easier for just the three of us to look around here and see what's been taken.
That's true. Well, where do we start?
Calling Dr.
The Cosmic Radio.
It's like Barney calling.
I'll take it.
I wonder where he can be calling from.
Well, Barney, this is Dr. Hewer.
Calling Dr. Hewer.
Well, yes, this is Dr. Hewer.
Well, Doctor, what do you think of me and Willie saving you folks a lot of risk and trouble, huh?
Where are you, Barney, and what are you doing?
Don't you know?
No, of course not.
Well, then guess. I dare you.
No, Barney, you tell me.
Why, Doctor, me and Willie's flying around up here in space trying out the new gyro thing of yours.
What?
Listen.
You mean you're in the test ship we had waiting for us at the spaceport?
Sure.
Oh, but Barney, how...
Well, we figured the best way to keep you folks from risking yourselves by taking off with this new contraption was for us to do it.
Oh, thank goodness it wasn't Ken and Ardela.
Barney.
Yeah?
Is everything all right? No trouble?
No, sir. The ship works fine. Of course, it took me and Willie a couple of minutes or two to get it all organized out.
How do you mean?
Well, when I first turned on the power, we didn't feel the ship moving under us. It was just the same thing as though we had the rocket power on, only we didn't have it on. Just like we was being held down by a big rope or stuff. But at the same time, we could hear the motors roaring.
Splendid. Then the new Gyro Cosmic Relativator works perfectly.
Oh, good for you, Doctor.
Sure, Doctor, it works fine.
How about navigation with it? Any difference?
No, not a bit of difference, Doctor.
Well, then, even if you did deprive us of the privilege of making the first test with it, I'm mighty gratified to know the new Gyro Cosmic Relativator works all right. And now...
Listen, Doctor.
Yes?
Would you please kind of do me a personal favor?
What is it, Barney?
Will you please say the name of this thing over again?
Well, surely.
You see, I started explaining it all out to Willie here.
Yes.
And when I come to telling him its name, it kind of slipped my mind. You know how it is, Doctor. I always got so many important things to think about all the time that them little details kind of slip my mind.
Poor old Barney.
So if you don't mind, would you say it for me just one more, please?
Barney, it's a Gyro Cosmic Relativator.
You hear that, Willie?
Yes, sir. Gyro Cosmic Relativator.
That's it.
You see, Doctor, didn't I always tell you that my Willie was going to be a great man someday? And that proves it.
Well, now, Barney.
Yeah?
We're having a little trouble down here, and we're badly in need of that ship you're in.
No kidding, Doctor.
Yes. And here's what I want you to do.
Yeah?
Cut off the power right away.
Yes, sir. There. Power's off, Doctor.
Good. Now, just as soon as we've finished talking, face that ship you're in around and head back for Earth just as fast as you safely can. We'll be waiting for you at the Central Spaceport.
Okay, Doctor. We'll turn back on the power again and head back for Earth as fast as we can. But would you mind telling me what the trouble is?
Killer Kane.
Kane?
Yes. He and Ardela have escaped.
Say, that's awful.
That's why we need the rocket ship with the relevator.
Well, Doctor, we'll head right back again.
All right, Barney. Signing off.
Yes, sir. Signing off. Hear that, Willie?
Yes, sir. Pretty serious, isn't it?
Of course it is. And I guess they don't only need a rocket ship down there.
Huh?
They probably need me, too. When people like Kane and Ardela get loose, Willie, there's going to be a lot of trouble.
Well, then, let's get started back to Earth.
Yes, sir. Hang on for power. sir. Everywhere they go, there's trouble.
I know it.
Killer Kane's dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
Yes, sir.
Why, if he was to see you coming at him, he'd like as not pull out a rocket pistol or a disintegrator and blow you. Where are you?
Well, you aren't afraid of him, are you, Mr. Barney?
Oh, me?
Yes, sir.
Course I ain't. Me afraid of Killer Kane. That's a good big joke, that is.
Well, Barney,
Huh?
I can't tell you how glad I am to know that.
Now, listen, you must have...
Exactly right,
No,
Willie.
no, no, no.
Killer Kane. Well, with Kane right there aboard Black Barney's rocket ship, things don't look so good. But you're looking pretty good, Popsicle Pete. And where's that song you wrote?
Gosh, I can't think for all these people.
Oh, sure you can. Go ahead. They're all your pals.
All right, here goes. Popsicle, popsicle, fresh fruit ices on a stick. They're so good and they're so big. Popsicle, popsicle, save the bags and get a gift with popsicle.
Well, that was perfectly terrific, Pete. And everybody loves popsicles. Those great big fresh fruit ices on a handy stick. And the bags are just as good as money for wonderful free gifts. Popsicles are made fresh every day from fine, wholesome ingredients. Doesn't it make your mouth water just to think how good they taste in all those fresh fruit flavors and how long they last? The best, biggest nickel's worth anywhere.
And don't forget, fellas and girls, save those bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. And get those free presents. A camera, a wristwatch, jewelry, fishing tackle, hundreds of swell gifts. You'd better save bags every day.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air. This program is brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous fellow who won the contest for the typical American boy, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, fellas and girls. Are you saving up bags for those exciting free presents I told you about? Gee, what wonderful gifts you get. Hundreds of them. Roller skates, telescope, movie camera, doll, bracelet, wallet, table tennis. That's only a few. Just save the bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. Ask at your ice cream store for the free Popsicle gift list. It tells you where to send the bags you save and how many to send. You get a free coupon with it worth 10 bags. That'll get you started fine.
Yes, and here's an idea. Get Mom and Dad eating those wonderful confections, too. They're easy to eat on those handy sticks, and they're easy to digest. They're so pure and fresh and wholesome. And, oh, boy, so delicious. You'll get their bags, too, for those marvelous gifts.
Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle are biggest for a nickel. Don't forget that.
Yes, but now let's go on with the amazing adventures of Buck Rogers in the 25th century. In our last episode, you recall, we learned that our old friends, Black Barney and Willie, were the ones who took off in the rocket ship equipped with the new Gyro cosmic relativator. And we also know that the arch criminal, Killer Kane, suddenly appeared there aboard Black Barney's rocket ship. But that last is something that Buck and Wilma and Dr. Hewer don't know. And as we join them, they're simply talking things over in the doctor's laboratory. Shall we join them? Okay, then, here we go. 500 years into the future.
Well, Buck, Wilma?
Yes, Doctor?
At least we know that our rocket plane is in good hands. Yes, and that the new Gyro cosmic relativator works all right.
Yes, Barney said when he radioed that he took off at full speed and that he didn't even feel the pull of acceleration.
Well, as long as he's bringing the plane right down again, hadn't we better go over to the spaceport to meet him?
Not much point in going over right away, is there?
Huh?
It took him some time to fly out to wherever he is, and he won't be able to get back any faster.
Yes, Wilma's right. And we can put in good time right here in my laboratory, finding out what was taken by whoever ransacked it.
Yeah. Well, whoever broke in couldn't have been here very long.
What makes you think that, Buck?
Well, for one thing, there doesn't seem to have been much damage done. A few drawers pulled out on the desks and cabinets, and only a couple of scientific instruments moved from their usual places.
Well, you know what that indicates.
What, Doctor?
Whoever broke in wanted one particular thing.
Yeah.
And didn't have to waste much time in looking for it.
Come to think of it, Doctor, he couldn't have had very much time. It was only a few minutes after we arrived at the spaceport that the captain of the rocket police discovered this had happened.
Exactly. Well, let's look carefully around and find out what, if anything, is missing.
We can certainly be sure of one thing.
What's that?
This was done by Kane and Ardela. No one else would do such a thing.
Yes, and of course they've just escaped from the municipal prison.
Yes, sir. Can't you see what happened? The minute they got out, they realized they'd need equipment. And there was no more logical place for them to try to find it than right here in this laboratory.
Only one of them was here, though, Wilma.
How do you know?
Well, Police Information Bureau said that when they made their break, Kane and Ardela separated.
Uh-huh.
And what's more, a private citizen saw just one person take off in a rocket roadster from the neighborhood of this laboratory.
Buck, could he identify that person?
No, sir, he was too far away. But he's absolutely sure there was only one.
Well, maybe we aren't right after all.
Huh?
About it being Kane and Ardela. They usually stick pretty close together. And just getting out of prison would be all the more reason for doing so.
Except that one of them might have come here to get something, while the other tried to lay hands on a rocket ship.
Yes.
Well, we're wasting time just standing around here talking about it. Let's look around and see if anything's missing. Buck.
Yes, sir?
Look through that chest there against the wall and make sure that my bound copies of the formula for...
All right, sir.
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir?
The instrument devised by Professor Smith, the mad scientist.
Huh?
The instrument that subjugated people to his willpower when he used it on them.
The psychic restriction ray?
Yes.
Why, it was right over there in that corner, back of where Wilma's standing.
Well, it's not here now.
Well, then we must look for it quickly. An instrument like that in the hands of a man like Kane...
Don't I know it?
Quick, open every cabinet and locker in the place.
Right,
okay,
sir.
Doctor.
With his mad desire for power, why, Kane would use that instrument on everybody he could lay his hands on. No sign of it yet?
Not that I can see, Doctor.
But there must be.
Nothing over here, Doctor.
Well, then suppose you look back in the stockroom, Buck. Perhaps I left the instrument in there.
Yes, sir.
Are you absolutely sure you had it here in your laboratory, Doctor?
Yes, Wilma, absolutely sure. Well, Buck, is it in there?
I'm afraid not, Doctor.
Well, then,
No,
look here.
sir. That's what he took, all right.
Well, listen, what we've got to do. Our first thing is to report to the president that we're all ready to set out after Kane and Ardela.
Which, of course, we'll do the minute Black Barney gets our rocket plane back here.
Yes, and we'll need all the information we can get from the rocket police relative to their escape from the municipal prison.
I'll take care of that, Doctor.
And I'll radio the president's office.
Good. We'll go out to the spaceport and meet Barney with our ship.
But, Doctor, is that a good ship for chasing Kane and Ardela?
No, Buck, no. We'll have the Gyro cosmic relativator from it installed on a fast-fighting cruiser.
Right. Wilma, the call letters for police information are 413.
Okay, Buck.
Calling X38.
Wilma Deering calling
Buck
413.
Rogers calling X38.
Calling 413.
Calling X38.
Wilma Deering
Buck
calling
Rogers
413.
calling X38.
Yes, Barney. I can't begin to tell you how nice it is to be with you again. Say now, you listen here now to me, Killer Kane. And Willie.
Yes, sir.
Some time since I've seen you, too. Listen, Kane. What's your idea of stowing away on my rocket ship, huh? If you think you're going to get away with
Stand
it...
back.
But I tell you...
Stand back.
Yeah.
Don't you know by this time that occasionally my trigger finger gets a bit nervous? And Barney, a rocket pistol isn't very pleasant at this close range.
Please, you wouldn't shoot Mr. Barney, would you?
Of course not, Willie. Unless he were to make the serious mistake of trying to oppose me. Now, look here.
Yeah, well, what do you want?
A minute ago, you spoke of my having stowed away on your rocket ship.
Yeah.
Your rocket ship. Surely you don't pretend that you were clever enough to have installed a device like this?
You mean that gyro thing?
Barney. How many times must you be told that it's a gyro cosmic relativator?
Mr. Barney can say that word, Mr. Kane, and don't you believe he can't either.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the fact remains that neither the ship nor the relativator belongs to you. Am I right?
Well, it's sort of this way.
Don't try to stall, Barney. You and Willie committed a very serious offense by taking off in this ship without proper authority.
When we talked to Dr. Hewer by radio, he said it was all right, Mr. Kane.
Yeah, and all we need to do is fly back with it.
Yes.
Told you it's all right, eh?
Yes, sir.
And when you merrily land at the central spaceport, you forget all about the fact that you ran off with the greatest invention he ever turned out. Not one bit of it.
What do you mean?
The minute you set foot on the ground there at the Niagara spaceport, you will find yourself surrounded by rocket police, ready to throw you into chains.
No, sir. I betcha.
What excuse have you for stealing this rocket ship, Barney?
We didn't. We just took it on a test flight for the gyro thing, so Lieutenant Wilmer, Captain Rogers, and Dr. Ure wouldn't have to take no chances with it.
You expect them to believe a story like that?
It's the truth. That's what it is.
Yes, sir, it's the truth.
Yeah, and I tell you, you're crazy to think that you can get away with any such childish excuse. Truth or not. Now, if you have any sense, instead of going back to Niagara to trouble, you come along with me.
Huh?
You know, there was a time, Barney, when you were not only willing, but anxious to work with me. And if I remember correctly, you were always well paid for doing it.
Well, that's the times I want to forget, when I didn't know no better than be an air pirate.
At that time, you had a stronghold full of treasure that would have been the envy of all nations. You had gold, power. You can have those things again, Barney, my boy. If you'll use your head and come along with Adela and me.
Don't you know that I've outgrown all that sort of stuff?
That's your misfortune, Barney. Now, as an air pirate, you were quite a success, weren't you?
Yeah, sure I was.
But what happened? You got silly and sentimental listening to Wilman Deering stuff your empty head full of ideas about reforming and going straight.
Hey, don't you say nothing against Lieutenant Wilmer.
Get back.
All right.
Now, what has it got you? Nothing.
Mr. Barney's the Prime Minister of Mars, don't forget.
Yeah, that's right.
Prime Minister of Mars?
Yeah.
What does that make me? King of Pluto?
It's a big job, Mr. Kane. Why, if Mr. Barney wasn't their Prime Minister, I don't know what the Martian people would do.
Yeah.
You just ask King Arnaldo what he thinks of Mr. Barney.
Yeah.
That doddering old fool? Why, just to show you how helpless he is, I may go up there to Mars one of these days and establish a headquarters.
Not if I got anything to say about it. No, sir.
No, sir.
You won't have anything to say about it, Barney. Unless some sudden and unexpected flash of intelligence leads you to team up with me.
I don't know what you're up to, Kane, and I don't care no matter what it is.
No, Barney?
But no matter what it is, me and Willie ain't gonna have nothing to do with it.
Unfortunately, you're going to change your mind about that, Barney. And very shortly.
You're crazy. There's nothing would make me change my mind about that. Not even nothing.
No, sir.
Well, we'll see. This rocket ship is headed back in the general direction of Earth, isn't it?
Sure. Can't you tell by looking on the viewplate of the teleradioscope or by looking out of one of the forward windows?
No sarcasm, Barney. Move out of that control seat.
No, sir. I'm taking this ship back to the central spaceport.
Do I have to keep waving this rocket pistol at you to show you that I mean business?
Okay. Go ahead and sit in the control seat.
On second thought, though, I believe I'll let you do the work of navigation.
Huh?
Now, I want you to land us near the ruins of the ancient city of Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
There we'll meet Adela. You see, Barney, before she left Niagara, she made a stop at the laboratory of your dear friend, Dr. Ure. and picked up a rather interesting scientific instrument.
What are you talking about?
I have a sneaking suspicion it will help you come around to my point of view. As a matter of fact, Barney, I'm sure of it.
Well, sir, I certainly hate to hear Kane say that, because it can mean only one thing. Killer Kane plans to put Black Barney under the psychic restriction ray that Ardela stole from Dr. Hewer's laboratory. And that ray will completely subjugate Barney to Kane's will. Well, now, Pete, how about some refreshment? What do you say to a great big ice-cold creamsicle on a stick?
Oh, boy. Ice cream in the middle and thick chocolate fudge outside?
That's right. Creamy chocolate fudge or tempting fresh fruit flavors. Take your choice. Creamsicles are all 5 cents. All delicious, nourishing, wholesome. Made fresh every day under the strictest pure food laws and protected by U.S. registered trademarks.
And listen, pals, don't forget to save your creamsicle bags for these wonderful gifts, like a camera, table tennis, a wristwatch, wallet, baseball, sleeping dolls. Get your free illustrated gift list in your ice cream store.
Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous winner of the Typical American Boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Say, kids, can you imagine this? You get wonderful free presents for doing something you want to do anyway. Look, when you eat a swell popsicle, fudgicle, or creamsicle, you save the bags and get your pick of keen gifts. Listen to these: a movie camera, skates, table tennis, sleeping doll, jewelry, hundreds of gifts, and they're wonderful gifts, too. Get yourself a popsicle gift list. It tells all the things you can get and how many bags you need, and it's got a free coupon on it worth 10 bags. You get it at your ice cream store free.
And take along a nickel and have a swell popsicle or fudgicle or creamsicle on a handy stick. Are they good? So refreshing. And good for you. Mother knows that. They're made fresh every day by the best ice cream manufacturers in town. And boy, do they last. The biggest nickel's worth anywhere.
Say, don't forget to save the bags for gifts.
Now, let's see. In our last episode, we learned that while Buck and his friends were trying to get on the trail of Killer Kane and Ardela, Kane appeared aboard Black Barney's rocket plane and ordered him to head for the ruins of ancient Philadelphia. But tonight, we'll pick up our story at the Central Spaceport, where Buck and Wilma are waiting in vain for Barney to come in and land. Now, here we go, 500 years into the future.
Doggone it, Wilma. I certainly wish Black Barney would hurry up and get here.
I know it, Buck. It was over an hour ago that he radioed Dr. Hewitt that he was on his way in.
Yeah.
Don't suppose something could have happened to him, do you?
Thinking of that new Gyro cosmic relativator aboard his ship?
Uh-huh. Think it may have gone wrong somehow and thrown his ship out of control?
No, he'd have radioed for help. He's probably just taking his time somewhere out there in space, giving that relativator a real tryout.
Dr. Hewitt told him we need that ship in a hurry, though.
Yeah, that's true. And I have a battle cruiser here all ready to have the relativator transferred to it. See it over there?
Oh, I wondered why that ship was out of the hangar. Well equipped for a chase after Kane and Ardela?
Yes, sir. Rocket guns, a long-range disintegrator, one-way energy projector, all sorts of stuff. Even a gas analyzer that'll let us pick up and follow a rocket trail.
Good. It'll have a gyro cosmic relativator when Barney gets it back here to us.
Say, if necessary, we could start without it.
What?
Sure. Barney must have left a rocket trail when he took off from here.
Yes.
Well, we can follow it up to where he is and board his ship out in space.
How?
With a good old collapsible airlock.
Collapsible airlock?
Sure, you remember it. A big flexo steel tube that... Well, look there. Don't you see it there on the underside of our battle cruiser?
Oh, yes. It's a big tube that connects two ships flying side by side out in space.
Or better still, you can hook the two ships together with the magnetic grapples they all carry.
Uh-huh.
Then the collapsible airlock makes an airtight connection between the two ships.
Oh, I see. We could transfer the gyro cosmic relativator to our cruiser that way.
That's the idea. Wilma, you're so doggone used to all these scientific developments that you don't even think of them when there's an occasion to use them. But having come from the 20th century, they're all so marvelous to me, I can't help thinking of them most of the time. So come on, let's hop into the cruiser, turn on the gas analyzer, and take off.
Well, now listen, Buck.
Come on, all the time we're standing around here, waiting for Barney to come back is wasted. Gives Kane and Ardela just that much more chance to get away from us.
I doubt if they're very far away. No rocket planes have been reported missing, you know.
Except for a little air roadster. The one that was seen leaving the vicinity of Dr. Hewer's laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
And with that pair at the controls, even a little roadster is enough to take them well out of reach.
Look, Buck.
Yeah?
Why not try calling Barney by radio before we head out into space after him?
Now, that's a good idea. But come on. Mm-hmm. Aboard the cruiser is as good a place to call him as any.
Okay.
Here you are. Go ahead and climb in.
Right. Shall I turn on the transmitter?
Please. I'll leave this metal door open just in case he should come sailing down while we're trying to contact him.
All set, Buck. Go ahead.
Thanks. Buck Rogers calling Black Barney.
Probably he'll come in now that we've decided to go up after him.
No, that won't make me mad. Calling Black Barney. Buck Rogers calling Black Barney.
Apparently he didn't realize how important it was that he get back here in a hurry.
Calling Black Barney.
Funny, though, that he doesn't answer. I think he might have the receiver aboard that ship turned off.
No reason under the sun why he should. Even then, the automatic signal would work. Calling Black Barney.
Then, Buck, something must be wrong. He's had plenty of time to get back here, even flying slowly. And if he doesn't answer a radio call, why, something must be wrong, that's all.
I hope you're wrong. Calling Black Barney. I'm afraid you're right, Wilma. Close the metal door, will you, please?
All set, Buck.
Now, take the controls and head us straight up until the gas analyzer picks up the trail of rocket exhaust from Barney's ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep on trying to call him.
Right. Here we go.
Now, don't be afraid to use plenty of power, Wilma, and swing us around in a wide circle as soon as we get some altitude.
Okay, Buck.
Calling Black Barney. Buck Rogers calling Black Barney. Calling Black Barney. Calling Black Barney. Buck Rogers calling Black Barney.
Listen here now to me, Kane. You gotta let me answer that radio call.
Shut up, Barney. And don't make any move toward that transmitter.
Please let him answer, Mr. Kane.
Be quiet, Willie.
Buck Rogers calling Black Barney. Well, I guess it's no use, Will.
But don't you see, Kane? They don't know where I'm at. They might even be thinking I run off with a rocket ship. This one.
Which is exactly what you have done.
No, sir. Why, if it wasn't for you, I'd have this ship right back at the center of space.
Don't you see, Barney? You're in trouble, no matter how you look at it. The only wise thing you can do is come along and work with me.
No, sir. There ain't nobody or nothing that can make me do it.
We'll see about that later. Watch your navigation now. We're ready to land.
Okay.
You see there? There are the ruins of ancient Philadelphia just ahead of us.
Hey, that must have been a pretty big city.
Never mind about that. Barney, you see that rocket roadster parked over there to the left?
Yeah.
Well, drop us down right beside it. And land easily so the rocket blast won't scorch up the entire countryside.
Hey, you trying to tell me how I should order to land a rocket ship? Now, hang on. I'm going to cut the power.
And coast down from here?
Yeah.
Turn on that power, Barney. We drop this far, we'll crack up.
No, we can coast down from here easy.
Turn on that power, you fool. Turn it on.
Okay. There you are. Just as nice a landing as you could want.
See, Mr. Kane? He told you he could do it.
It's the Gyro Relativator. That's what kept us from crashing.
You mean I didn't do a nice landing?
Yes, I can see where that instrument will be of real value to us. All right, Barney.
Yeah?
Open the door.
Sure.
Well, if it isn't my old friend Black Barney.
Huh? Adela.
And Willie.
Well, what a surprise this is.
Willie, I don't like this. No, sir.
No, sir.
Why, Barney, how can you say
Hold it,
thing?
Adela. We've got work to do.
Okay, what's on your mind, if any?
Did you break into Hero's laboratory as I told you to?
Absolutely.
How about the scientific instrument I told you to bring along?
You mean the...
Don't name it. The point is, did you get it?
Sure. It's right there beside the rocket roadster. That big package there.
Then, Barney.
Yeah?
Go over there and get that package and put it aboard the ship.
Well, now, listen, Kane.
Go ahead, Barney, and make it fast.
Okay. Only you don't need to be tough about it.
Willie,
Yes, sir?
in on the control table of this ship, you'll find some scraps of paper. Get me one of them.
What kind of paper?
Go ahead, get going.
Yes, sir. I'll get it.
Okay, now what?
Oh, where do you want me to put this, Kane?
Inside the ship, I said. On the floor, anywhere.
Okay.
Adela, keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't try to touch the controls and get away.
Right, Kane.
Here's a piece of paper, Mr. Kane.
Good. Now, hold still so I can write on it on your back. That's it.
Now what, Kane?
Just keep your eye on Barney for a minute until I finish this.
Okay.
There, that'll do it. Now, Willie,
Yes, sir?
your job is to deliver this note to Captain Buck Rogers in Niagara. You can fly over in that little rocket roadster. And I want you to make time, you understand?
All alone?
You can fly that roadster, can't you?
Sure, I guess so, but I don't think I know the way to Niagara.
Then find your way.
But how about Mr. Barney?
Never mind about Barney. Get going with that note for Captain Rogers.
Oh, now listen, Mr. Kane.
Get out of here before
All right, I'll go.
Well, that's that. Adela,
Yeah?
didn't leave anything of value in that roadster, did you?
Nope. All the weapons I brought along are right here.
Good. Now, let me into that control seat.
Are we taking off?
Just as soon as little Willie gets started back toward Niagara.
Willie? Niagara?
Look through this window, Barney, and you'll see that he's about to take off in the air roadster.
But he can't run that ship, Kane. He'll crack up.
He'd better not. He's taking a message to Buck Rogers.
There he goes.
Kane, I tell you, the boy can't fly.
And here we go.
Listen here to me, Kane.
Yes, Kane, I think you were crazy to let Willie try to fly to Niagara like that.
Are you running this little party, or am I?
Oh.
Barney. Barney!
Yeah?
Watch closely, and I'll show you how to keep from leaving a rocket trail.
What are you going to try to do, Kane?
Cut the power and coast into the place we land.
But we'll smash up.
Use your head, Adela. This ship is equipped with a Gyro cosmic Relativator.
But you're not going to make our headquarters so close to the place we left Willie, I hope.
Absolutely. Because that's the last place in the world Rogers would expect to find us.
I hope you're right, Kane.
Of course I am. Now, Barney, you can unwrap that package there on the floor.
What is it?
The instrument that'll make you more than glad to join forces with Adela and me.
No, sir. No, sir. There won't nothing ever make me do that. Well, let me see what you got here.
Watch that face, Adela.
Right.
Kate! Kate! No!
Well?
It's a ray. The cycle description ray.
Right, Barney. The psychic restriction ray.
Yes, and I'm afraid that although it won't hurt Barney, that ray will make him perfectly willing to do whatever Kane says.
Say, fellas and girls, there's a raft of wonderful presents just waiting for you to send in those bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. I picked out the presents. Yep, skates, fishing tackle, a candid camera, dolls, bracelets, wallets, and, gosh, hundreds of swell things. Get your friends to help you save bags. The more you save, the better presents you get.
And don't forget, a valuable gift bag is wrapped around every single Popsicle, Creamsicle, and Fudgicle. Now make today Fudgicle Day. What a treat. Real creamy chocolate fudge frozen on a handy stick. Only 5 cents for a big one. Full of energy, too. Good for your bones and teeth. Each one is as rich in milk solids as a glass of milk. It's delicious.
Save bags for gifts every day. Don't forget.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now, a message from the famous winner of the Typical American Boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, everybody. Guess what I've got here? A wristwatch for you. It's ticking away like anything. Gee, it's nifty. And it's yours, fellas and girls, free. All you do is save bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. You get hundreds of gifts, wonderful gifts, too, for those bags. Better start saving right away. Those bags are as good as money.
Yes, you'll find a valuable gift bag wrapped around every genuine Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. Look for the name on each bag. It's registered by the U.S. Patent Office. And boy, will you love those great, big, swell-tasting frozen confections on a handy stick. Get one every day at your ice cream store. The biggest nickel's worth you ever saw. And wholesome. Couldn't be more pure if Mother made them.
And do they last? Say, don't forget to get a free gift list in your ice cream store. There's a free coupon on it worth 10 bags.
Well, now, tonight we should find out how and where Cain and Ardela, with Black Barney as their prisoner, are going to make their headquarters. But first, we'd better check up on Buck. And the easiest way to do that is by dropping into Central Radio Bureau at Niagara, the capital of 25th century America. All set? Then here we go, 500 years into the future.
Central Radio Bureau, Davidson speaking.
This is Buck Rogers, Dave.
Oh, yes, Captain Rogers. What can I do for you, sir?
Have you any idea where Dr. Hewer is, Dave? And why I haven't been able to call him at his laboratory?
Why, yes, sir. Right now, he's almost 80 floors below me in the protoniformer room of our transmitting setup.
What under the sun is he doing there?
Oh, he's looking through old pieces of equipment in the hope of finding some bits of impenetrite.
Impenetrite?
Well, that's what he said before he went down there.
Oh, probably with the idea of making up another Gyro cosmic relativator.
Yeah, what?
A new invention. Has to have impenetrite for it.
Oh.
Any way of reaching him down there? Can you give me a line to him?
Well, he must have disconnected it so as not to be disturbed. I tried to call him just a few minutes ago and couldn't even raise an echo.
Dave, I wish you'd pass something on to him just as soon as you can get in touch with him.
Well, surely, Captain. I'd be glad to.
Well, tell him that Wilma and I have taken off in a battle cruiser and are trying to get on the rocket trail of the ship Black Barney's in.
Something happened to Barney, Captain?
Yes, Dave, I'm afraid so. That's why it's so important you get this message straight to Dr. Hewer.
Well, then listen.
Yeah?
Why not let me hook a telemagnetic recorder strip in on this receiver? You know, simply record your message to him. Then when Burke comes on duty to relieve me, I'll take it down to him.
Good idea, Dave.
It'll certainly be more clear to the doctor than any message I might try to relay to him verbally.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Captain, go right ahead with your message.
Do I have to address this to him some way?
No, just carry on a regular conversation with me.
Okay. Well, we took off right next to the spot where Barney and Willie left in the ship equipped with a Gyro cosmic relativator. Is that okay, Dave?
Yeah, whatever that relativator is.
Well, we flew straight up because we figured that would be the way he did.
Yeah?
Then we started slowly circling around.
Uh-huh.
But the gas analyzer doesn't show a sign of his rocket trail yet. If we don't find it within a few minutes, we'll have to start at the ground again.
Oh, excuse me, Captain.
Yeah?
I take it that Gyro cosmic thing you mentioned is something new on a rocket plane.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. Makes a full-power takeoff possible.
Well, then perhaps Barney cut his power after taking off just to see if this new device was working right.
Yeah, that's possible.
He must have taken almost any direction when he put on the power again.
Well, that's what we're trying to find out by circling around. In any event, when we do locate his trail and direction, we'll report again. Mm-hmm. And if we're lucky, we may even pick up some information about Kane and Ardela.
Huh?
The more I think of it, the more I'm willing to bet there's a connection between them and Barney's disappearance.
Well, if that's true, your job amounts to nothing more or less than running down Kane and Ardela.
Right. Now, that's certainly enough of a message for Dr. Hewer, Dave, so get it to him fast.
Yes, sir.
Thought you were going to use the gyrocosmic relativator and coast down to a landing, Kane.
Don't worry. This one little burst of power isn't going to leave enough of a trail to be followed. Now then.
Good work. We're landed all right, and without even the tiniest bump.
Yes. This relativator Barney brought us makes taking off and landing so easy a baby could do it. Even Barney here.
You listen here now to me, Kane.
Well, Barney?
You know good and well I didn't bring that there now gyro thing to you. You stole it. That's what.
Why, Barney?
Sure. Me and Willie was trying it out for Lieutenant Whitman and Captain Rogers and Dr. Ewer. And the only reason you got it is on account of you stowed away in this here rocket ship.
Now, Barney.
Sure you did. And I want to know that you done what you done with my little Willie, too, huh? What did you?
Barney, your dear little Willie is acting as messenger boy for me. He's taking a note to Buck Rogers.
Didn't you see him take off for Niagara in the rocket roadster, Barney? Sure you did.
Sure I did. Only he can't fly one of them things, and if anything happens to him, Killer Kane, I'll get you for it if it's the last thing I ever do. You hear me, Kane? And I mean it.
Barney, you sound positively dangerous. I guess we'll have to do something about you.
What do you mean, do something?
Would you really like to know, Barney?
Sure, I'd like to know.
Very well. We're going to put you under the psychic restriction ray.
Huh?
It has a most startling effect on rebellious people.
No. Listen, Kate, listen. Did I ever do anything to you to make you put me under the psychic description ray?
Will you work with Ardela and me voluntarily?
Well,
How about it, Barney?
No, sir. I won't do it.
Then that settles it.
Well, now listen.
First, of course, we've got to get established in some sort of headquarters.
Now, Kane, about that site...
Kane, are you still set on putting our headquarters here? So close to where Willie left us?
Listen.
If you'd use that pretty head of yours for something beside a perch for a flying helmet, you'd realize there isn't a better place in the solar system.
All right. Why?
No rocket trail leading up to where we've landed here. I was there?
No, because you cut the power a couple of miles away and coasted down. But you still haven't answered my question.
Ardela, think. Try it. Just once.
All right, rave on.
When little Willie delivers my message, the first thing Rogers is going to do is ask him where he saw us.
And believe me, Willie isn't going to waste any time in telling him, down to the last detail.
Right. But do you think for a minute Rogers will expect to find us here, waiting for him to come and get us?
Well...
Ardela, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Just as far from where Willie was with us as possible.
Exactly. That's exactly what Rogers would expect us to do. And that's why we're safer here than anywhere else we could possibly be. It's the last place in the world he'd expect to find us.
Okay, you win.
Yeah.
And that just shows that you're pretty dumb, Kane.
Hey?
If you think you can keep Captain Rogers from finding you, you're dumb, that's all.
Quiet, Bonnie.
Buck might think to look for us here at that, Kane.
What makes you think so?
Professor Smith, the mad scientist who had ideas for becoming supreme grand ruler of the solar system. You know, the man who invented the psychic restriction ray.
Well, what about him?
Well, this is where he hung out.
Don't let that worry you. By the time we get through fixing this place up, Smith himself wouldn't be able to spot us.
What do you mean by fixing it up?
Come on, let's get out of this rocket ship and I'll show you. Oh, by the way...
Yeah?
What sort of equipment were you able to pick up when you dropped into Dr. Hewer's laboratory? Is this it here, in this bag?
Yeah, a rocket pistol, small disintegrator, and 2 force rays.
Good work. Now, as for tools, there are plenty right here in the ship. So bring along those weapons. And Barney.
Yeah? What?
You may have the honor of bringing along the psychic restriction ray.
I don't want no psychic description ray.
Bring it along. But wait. What's this lever for? Here on the control panel.
I don't know, Kane.
Barney?
Sure, anybody'd know that. It's a rocket dampener for working the attachment on the rocket tube so it'll cut down on the rocket flame so that
Splendid. It'll not only cut down whatever noise this ship makes while in flight, but it'll change the rocket trail. There we are. Now, come on.
Okay. Help me step down to the ground, please, Barney. I've got my hands full.
Oh, sure, Miss Altala. I'll be...
Never mind that, Barney.
Huh?
You take care of that ray machine. And don't drop it. You understand? Handle it carefully.
Okay.
Go ahead, Adela.
Isn't that what I'm doing?
And these tools are just what we need. I'll put them right out of here.
I'm not going to leave the ship out in plain sight, I hope.
Huh?
You heard me.
Adela, you do have an idea now and then, don't you? Let me have that small disintegrator.
Here. Now, what are you going to do with it?
Watch. First, I disintegrate a large hole right alongside the ship.
That's a mighty big hole you disintegrated.
There we are.
All right. Now what?
Wait and see.
Hey, he ain't going to fly away and leave us, is he?
We'd better not try it. Oh, I see.
Yeah. He's navigating it right into the hole he made with the disintegrator, ain't he?
And believe it or not, there's room to spare. Nice work, Kane. But it's still in plain sight.
Now, where's that one-way energy projector? Oh, here, you have it, Adela.
Yeah.
Don't think you can cover up that whole complete rocket ship with one of them things. Do you?
Watch.
Wait.
Huh?
If you cover it up, how'll we get it out again?
Push the dirt away with one of these force rays.
Oh.
Now, watch.
Well, satisfied?
A little more dirt needs to be pushed over it on this side here, Kane.
There you are. The ground looks as though it has never been disturbed.
I had no idea one of those little things, force rays, packed so much power.
So did I.
Non-recoil energy, Adela. Just another of your many inventions that'll be of help to us.
Well, now what?
Now, we're going to establish our headquarters underground.
Where Smitty used to have his?
Yes, come on. And let Buck Rogers or anybody else try to find us once we get established in this.
Central Radio Bureau, Davidson.
Listen, Dave. This is Buck Rogers again.
Oh, yes, sir. Any news about Black Barney or Killer Kane in Ardela, Captain?
Plenty.
No kidding.
But how about my message to Dr. Hewer? Did you get it to him?
Yes, sir. He's on his way back to his laboratory.
Well, then maybe I'd better call him direct.
Oh, I'm afraid you won't be able to get him right away, Captain.
Huh? Why not?
Well, he said he was going to make several stops along the way. The municipal storehouse and the electrochemical laboratories and the ultronium foundry. Oh, a couple of other places, too.
Well, then take another message for me. And relay it to him as soon as you can get in touch with him.
On the telemagnetic recorder?
Won't need it. This message is plenty short.
All right, shoot.
Tell Dr. Hewer that Wilma and I have picked up Barney's rocket trail with the gas analyzer, and we're following it at top speed.
Good work, Captain.
And we're not stopping until we find him.
Good stuff. But wait a minute. Didn't Kane deliberately break up his rocket trail so it couldn't be followed? Well...
Fellas and girls, hurry up and send in bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, and get yourself swell gifts. All the things you want but haven't got money to buy, like a wristwatch, movie camera, doll, jewelry, wallet, table tennis, fishing tackle, hundreds of wonderful gifts. Just save up Creamsicle, Fudgicle, and Popsicle bags. Excuse me now, folks. I'm going out to have a popsicle.
And will you get one for me, Pete?
Sure, Mr. Johnstone.
Yes, sir. There's nothing that tastes better than a great big cold popsicle. Those juicy, fresh fruit ices frozen on a stick. Have one tonight. Get your favorite fruit flavor. They're refreshing, full of energy, and only 5 cents for a great big twin popsicle. And boy, does it last.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous winner of the Typical American Boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, fellas and girls. You know what our gang did? We all saved bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle and got a whole baseball outfit for the team. Balls, gloves, and everything. Boy, they're swell.
Now get Mom and Dad and everybody to help you save bags from genuine Popsicle, Creamsicle, and Fudgicle. And get your choice of hundreds of marvelous gifts. Get a wristwatch, a camera, table tennis, a wallet, lots of things. Bags are easy to save because they come on such swell-tasting confections. Great big, pure Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, each on a handy stick. What a value for a nickel. So big and so delicious.
I'll say.
And made by the finest ice cream makers from choice, healthful, strictly fresh ingredients.
Say, kids, get a gift list free from your ice cream store and save it. It's got a coupon on it worth 10 bags.
Now, do you remember our last episode? Well, Buck and Wilma finally got on the trail of Black Barney's rocket ship. And we learned that Killer Kane and Ardela, with Barney as their prisoner, have landed at the ruins of ancient Philadelphia, where they're going to set up a new headquarters. Well, let's join them there and see how things are working out. Okay? Then here we go, 500 years into the future.
Well, Kane, what do we do now?
We make a little trip underground to establish a base of operations, Ardela, in what was formerly the headquarters of Professor Smith, the mad scientist.
Gonna use Smithy's old place, huh?
That's what I said. Come on.
Okay.
And handle that psychic restriction ray with care.
Okay.
Yeah, but where are we going? I don't see anything around here that looks like it might be Smith's old headquarters.
There, right in front of you. You see that hole in the ground?
Yeah.
With an old set of concrete stairs running down into it?
Well?
Way back in the 20th and 21st centuries, there was a network of subway lines running all along under the whole city. Now, that was before the Mongol invasion destroyed most of the principal American cities.
But what under the sun are subway lines?
Ever see pictures of railroad trains in your history books?
Sure.
Well, the subways were railroads that ran entirely underground.
Yeah.
Diverted a lot of traffic from the already congested streets on the surface and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Say, maybe the people who lived in those times weren't so dumb after all.
No. But if our friend Rogers weren't so dumb, he'd have stayed in the 20th century where he belonged.
Kane, you know just as well as me that Captain Rogers didn't come to the 25th century on purpose. He got caught in a mine accident, and a lot of gas come out of it, and he was held in suspended animation and all that sort of stuff.
Forget it, Barney. The point is that when Smith came here, he found an ancient subway station located down near the edge of the Delaware River here that was good enough to make into a headquarters. Now, you ought to remember that, Barney. You worked with Smith at one time.
Yeah, that was before I knowed any better. Smitty had it all fixed up with lights and a power planet and all that sort of stuff and things.
And that's why we're lucky in having everything ready for us to settle down here.
Yes, but I still think if Buck and Wilma get anywhere near here, they'll pick this as a logical place to look for
But
us.
even if they do, they'll never find us. Come along now, down the stairway.
Listen, I don't want to go down there.
Barney, do I have to keep a rocket pistol trained on you to make you do as I say?
Well, you can't make me work for you anyhow.
Quiet. Now pick up that psychic restriction ray and come along.
Okay.
Right down these steps?
Right. Now, what used to be Smith's office is at the end of a corridor at the bottom.
Oh, here's the corridor, all right. Hey, how about some light down here? You can't see very well.
Wait a second, and I'll see if the lighting system's still in order. Now, that's better.
Much. Hey, there's quite an establishment down here, isn't there?
Everything you could want for comfort and convenience. Now, this on the right was his office. Quarters are down the corridor on the left.
Wait a minute, Kane.
Why, yes. That little waterfall down at the end of this room. Yeah, I wonder how that got there.
Well, I can tell you.
Well?
Well, back in the old days when I was sort of foolish and thought I was an air pirate...
You'd be better off if you were still an air pirate, Barney.
No, sir, Kane, and nothing you will ever say
All right,
will ever make me believe it.
Go on with your story.
Yeah. Well, one time, me and Louie was down here giving Smitty a hand.
Who's Louie?
Oh, Louie, he was sort of my right-hand man and all that sort of stuff.
Go on.
Well, Louie didn't like Smitty, and Smitty knowed it, so he kept treating Louie worse and worse, until one day Louie got mad and cut loose with an atomic bomb and blew the place up.
Blew the place up?
Well, didn't exactly do very much damage on account of it wasn't set very good, but it let through some of the water from the Delaware River, and that's what makes the fall.
Then the door to Smith's old laboratory ought to be right behind that waterfall.
Yeah, I guess so. Unless somebody's changed it.
Somebody's changed it? Who's changed it?
Well, somebody maybe somebody come along.
You don't know what you mean. Adela.
Yes?
We've got to find out if the door to the laboratory is in back of that waterfall.
Well?
Well, how'd you like to hop through it and see while I keep an eye on Black Barney here?
Oh, and get soaking wet? Not much, Kane. If you want to find out what's on the other side of the waterfall, you can do it yourself. Or make Barney do it.
Hey, now, listen.
And take a chance on there being some way for him to beat it on the other side?
Okay, then it's up to you. See why that laboratory should be of such importance to you anyway.
Adela, if the water hasn't flooded that laboratory, we'll find electrical and scientific instruments that'll mean everything to us.
If it isn't flooded.
That's exactly what we're going to find out now.
What you're going to find out. Go ahead.
No. Wait a minute. A force ray. Give me one of those non-recoil energy projectors.
Sure. Here. What are you going to do with it?
Use it to push the water aside and keep from getting wet.
Oh. Sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah. Thought we were going to have the pleasure of watching you take a soaking.
Never mind that. Just be sure you keep Barney here covered with your rocket pistol. Now, here.
Hey, that's pretty good, Kane. Even if it is you.
It's a laboratory, all right, Adela. And it's in perfect condition.
Good. I'll hold back the water with this force ray while you and Barney go in. And then you can do the same for me with yours.
Right. Come on, Barney.
Okay.
And be sure you don't let that ray machine get wet.
All right.
That's it. Now, put the psychic restriction ray down inside the door here.
Well, now, how about...
Set it down, I said.
But listen...
Hey, Kane!
See?
What's the hurry, Adela? Take it easy, will you? All right. Come ahead.
Right. Well, this is better.
Now, get all the way inside the laboratory so we can close this door. That's it. And this, my friends, is our new headquarters.
Not bad, Kane. Not bad.
Not bad? It's perfect. Why, look at these scientific instruments. Smith may have been a bit balmy, but he's certainly left us some priceless equipment here. And with that waterfall covering up the door, nobody in the whole wide world would ever discover us here.
No? Why shouldn't somebody else look behind the falls for the door to this place?
Because nobody else knows this place is here.
I hope you're right.
I know I am. Come on, let's get to work. Now, the first thing we've got to do is to put Barney under the psychic restriction ray.
Huh?
Plug it into that power outlet, will you?
Sure.
Listen, Kane, is all you think about the cycle of scripture ray? I'm not going under it, see?
You haven't any choice in the matter, Barney, unless you decide to work along with us voluntarily. How about it?
No, sir. No, sir. I don't know what voluntarily means, but I won't do it.
That's final?
Yes, sir, and nothing you can say will make any difference.
Then the ray it is. Let me have that force ray, Adela.
Here you are.
Kane.
Get down on the floor under the ray projector, Barney.
No, sir, Kane. And you can't make me...
Down.
Hey, take that force ray off of me. What's the big idea, Kane?
Flat on your back, Barney. And right under the projector lens.
Take it off me, I tell you. You're pushing me right through the floor.
If you don't stop bellowing, I will push you through the floor.
All right. I'll stay. I'll lay still. I'll stay where...
All right. Now, Barney, I warn you. If you try to get out of range of the psychic restriction ray, I'll drive so much energy at you that you'll never get up again. Adela,
Yes?
turn on the ray.
Right. How's that?
Perfect.
No, Sir Kane. It ain't perfect. And if you got any sense, you'll turn it off again. You hear me, Kane? Turn it off. This thing won't have no effect on me anyhow.
Quiet, Bonnie. Now, you'll find it much easier if you don't try to make so much noise.
But the light from it hurts my eyes.
You're crazy.
Well, I don't like it anyhow. So take it away. And anyhow, if you think this or anything else is going to make me work for you, why, you're out of my mind. You understand? You're... Listen, Kane. You know, it's funny. This thing ain't so bad after all, is it? Yeah. I kind of think I like it.
It's working, Adela.
Good.
And from now on, Barney is ours.
Yeah, the reggae. It's so nice and pretty and beautiful and stuff. Yeah.
Let the brave Captain Rogers try to upset our plans now.
Rogers.
Central Radio Bureau, Davidson speaking.
Listen, Dave. This is Buck Rogers.
Oh, hello, Captain.
Contact Dr. Hewer again for me. Tell him we're still on Black Barney's rocket trail and following it with a gas analyzer.
Good, but
We found that it leads almost directly southeast of Niagara in a straight line.
I see, but now
In other
look,
words, toward the ruins of ancient Philadelphia, which would make an ideal headquarters for a person like Killer Kane.
But, Captain,
Now, as I told you before, Dave, the more I think of it, the more I feel he's somehow connected with the disappearance of Barney. Now, will you get all that to Dr. Hewer just as quickly as possible?
But, Captain.
Yeah?
I've been trying to tell you, Dr. Hewer called here just a few minutes ago, and he left a message for you.
Oh, yeah? What'd he say?
He wants you and Lieutenant Wilmer to return to Niagara immediately.
What?
And meet him at his laboratory.
But we can't. We're hot on this trail for the first time. We can't leave it now.
Well, I'm sorry, Captain, but he made it plain that no matter where you were or what you might be doing, he wants you in his laboratory before you go any further.
Well, if he wants us to leave a hot trail, it must be important.
Judging by the way he spoke, it's doggone important.
Okay, Dave. Tell him we're on our way back.
So, Kane and Ardela have poor old Black Barney under the influence of the psychic restriction ray, the instrument that completely subjugates him to their wills. It'll make him not only willing but glad to work with them. But I wonder what Dr. Hewer has up his sleeve.
Just imagine waking up in the morning and finding a package waiting for you. You open it up, and boy, there's a real wristwatch, or a doll, or fishing tackle, or roller skates, or maybe even a movie camera. Now, all you have to do is save bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, or Creamsicle, and you get all those presents free. Hundreds of them to choose from.
It's fun saving bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, or Creamsicle. They taste so good, and they're so big for a nickel.
I'm having a Fudgicle right now, kids.
A Fudgicle, real creamy chocolate fudge frozen on a stick. Is that delicious? Be sure the name Fudgicle is printed on the bag. It's the United States registered trademark.
And save those bags, kids. You get swell presents for them.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous fellow who won the contest for the typical American boy, Popsicle Pete.
Say, kids, Seems like everybody's saving bags from Popsicle, Creamsicle, and Fudgicle and getting the dandiest free gifts. Get a free gift list in your ice cream store. It's full of colored pictures of the presents.
Everybody loves Popsicle, Creamsicle, and Fudgicle on the handy stick. Are they good? So pure, so delicious, so downright refreshing.
Gee, you're making my mouth water.
Now they're full of energy, too. And a great big one costs only 5 cents.
The biggest nickel's worth I ever saw.
And remember, everything that goes into these great big luscious confections is the freshest and the finest. The kind of ingredients Mother uses in her own kitchen. Eat Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle as often as you like. They help make you strong, but be sure you get the genuine. Look for the name Popsicle, Creamsicle, or Fudgicle printed on every bag.
Save bags for free gifts every day. Save your gift list, too. It's got a coupon on it worth 10 bags.
Well, now with Kane and Ardela established in the headquarters at the ruins of ancient Philadelphia, with Black Barney under the influence of the psychic restriction ray, things promise to be pretty exciting. But let's first pick up Buck and Wilma aboard their rocket plane as it roars along on its way to Dr. Hewer's laboratory in Niagara. Here we go, 500 years into the future.
Doggone it, Wilma, I certainly wish I knew why Dr. Hewer insisted we turn around and fly back to his laboratory this way.
I know it, Buck. Just when we were beginning to get somewhere in our hunt for Black Barney.
Right. That was a good, strong rocket trail we were following, too. And there was no question about it being his.
Unless Killer Kane took that ship away from him.
Wilma, that's a greater possibility than I care to admit. Yes, sir, you'll never convince me that Barney had run off with an experimental ship that way unless somebody forced him into it.
And who could it be but Killer Kane?
Right. And that's why I hated to leave the hot rocket trail we were following.
Dr. Hewer knew we were on that trail, didn't he?
Sure. I had Central Radio Bureau tell him we were.
Then he must have something mighty important up his sleeve to make us turn back this way.
Yeah. Well, we'll be at his laboratory in a couple of minutes now and find out what it's all about.
Buck.
Yeah?
Why not radio to him? Plenty of time to do it before we land.
Sure. Here, you take over the controls while I do it, will you, please?
Surely.
Only you'd better keep cutting down on the power or we'll fly on by Niagara before we know it.
Hey, I should say so. Do you know how fast we're traveling?
How fast?
A little over 1,200 miles an hour.
Phew. That is stepping along, isn't it?
You bet it is. Out in space with no air friction to heat up the hull or slow us down, it would be like crawling along. Down here within the atmosphere, it's going some.
Yeah. Well, you take care of navigation while I make this call.
Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut down the power. There.
Calling V121. Buck Rogers calling V121.
Of course, he may not have got back to his laboratory yet, Buck. Central Radio Bureau said he had just started when we talked to them.
Well, calling V121.
Hello, Buck. Did you get my message through Central Radio?
Why, yes, Doctor. And we're on our way into you now.
Good. Well, then why are you calling?
Oh, just to find out what this is all about. We were hot on Barney's rocket trail
yes,
and...
Yes, I know, Buck.
Well, yes, sir, and that trail was so fresh the gas analyzer pointers were fairly popping off the dials.
Yes, but, Buck, I have an idea that finding Barney is going to be far more difficult than simply following up his rocket trail.
Sure, Doctor, but it's the first thing for us to do in any case.
No. So the first thing for you to do is to come back here to my laboratory.
But why, sir?
Tell you when you get back here. Now, come along.
Okay. We'll be there in a minute.
Signing off.
Signing off.
In a minute is right. Want to take over the controls?
Yeah, thanks. We can start coasting to a landing in about 2 shakes.
Well, take it easy. This ship isn't equipped with the Gyro cosmic relativator, you know.
I wish it was. Poor old Barney and Willie thought they were doing us a favor when they took off in the ship that was equipped with one. And right now it'd be mighty handy to have it aboard here.
Well, here we are.
Yep. Hang on for landing. Now, let's go.
Right with you. Oh, hello, Doctor. Here we are.
Oh, come right in here, you two.
Right, sir.
Your radio call held me up a bit, but I'm finished with this thing in a minute.
Why, Doctor, it's the Gyro cosmic relativator. Don't tell me Black Barney and Willie came back here.
Yes, Doctor. When did they bring it back?
They didn't. This is a brand new one.
Oh, I thought it'd take weeks to put one of these things together, and that you'd need impenetrite from Pluto.
Well, I used a few scraps I was able to salvage in the main power room of the Central Radio Bureau.
Yeah?
I've been spending every minute working on this.
Well, I'm beginning to see the light. You had us come back here so we could install this on our ship before continuing the search for Barney and Willie.
Exactly. As long as his ship is so equipped, yours must be too. And, Buck.
Yeah?
I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm of the opinion that Kane and Ardela must have something to do with the disappearance of Barney and Willie.
We certainly agree with you on that, sir.
Yes. There, now.
Great day. You must have done some fast work on this thing.
Yes, and under a real handicap in the limited amount of impenetrite at my disposal.
What about the reports of impenetrite ore out near the city of Omaha?
Yeah, I've heard about that, too, Doctor.
Yes, but the ore is so poor that an entirely new means of reduction must be developed to really make it worthwhile.
Worth investigating, though.
Well, I'm going to look into it at the very first opportunity. Meanwhile, our only sure source is the far-off planet Pluto.
We can't very well afford to lose this Relativator, then, can we?
No, sir.
But is there anything I can do to help you there?
I'll fit the photoelectric cell unit into place, will you, please?
Yeah, sure. Goes right in front of this gear system unit, doesn't it?
That's right. You'll have to use the power vise to fit them together.
Okay. But how about fastening them?
Oh, molecular tension will take care of that because of the extreme care with which they've been machined. Go right ahead and put them into the vise.
Yes, sir.
Help you carry, Buck?
No, thanks. I can make it.
There we are. Be sure the sections are accurately lined up before you try to fit them.
Yeah, they're in perfect alignment. And here goes the vise that'll make the Gyro Cosmic Relativator that'll help run down Kane and Ardela.
Well, Barney, how do you feel now? The psychic restriction ray isn't so bad, is it?
It's marvelous, Chief. Just leave it on for a couple of hours or two more, will you?
Sounds to me as though he's had plenty, Kane.
Right, Ardela. You can turn it off.
All right.
All right. Get up now, Barney.
Yeah. Thanks, Chief. I certainly appreciate your letting me get exposed to it. Yeah.
Then perhaps you can be of some help to us now, eh?
Oh, I'll try awful hard, Chief.
That's the stuff. What we ought to do, Ardela, is get hold of Rogers and put him under the psychic restriction ray.
Not a bad idea.
Dumb as he is, I think he might really be of some use to us.
Well?
From now on, we've got to take it easy and carefully plan everything we're going to do. Now, Barney.
Huh? Yeah, Chief.
Go out to where we've buried the rocket ship that has the Gyro Cosmic Relativator on it.
Okay.
Take along a non-recoil energy projector so you can push the dirt and rocks away from the door of it and get aboard.
And then what?
Then take out the radio and bring it in here. But be sure you leave the path to the door of that rocket ship clear.
How come?
I want that ship to be ready for immediate takeoff, just as soon as it gets dark.
Okay, Chief, I'll do it right away. How about bringing the ship up out of its hole onto the level ground?
Not much. That would leave it in plain sight of anybody who might be flying around looking for us.
Oh, yes.
Having that natural waterfall out there to cover up the entrance to this headquarters is a real help.
Yes. And right here in this old laboratory of Professor Smith's, we have all the scientific apparatus we could possibly want, Ardela. Our setup is perfect.
Well, what are we going to do with it?
Before anything else, Ardela, we must send Barney out after supplies and equipment.
Whoa there, Kane. Wouldn't it be much safer for you to go?
Not by a long shot. The minute anyone in this country saw me on the loose, every radio in America would start buzzing. But Barney's all right. People are used to seeing him around, and no matter what he might be doing, nobody would try to interfere with him.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Of course I am. The only thing he'll have to do is stay clear of Niagara, where they know he's missing.
Yeah, so far as that's concerned, though, they probably know he's disappeared in every city of the country.
Ardela, you seem to forget that our friend Barney is Prime Minister of Mars in his spare time. They wouldn't dare broadcast news of his disappearance in this day and age.
Okay. What are you going to have him do?
Go into a bunch of small towns and pick up all the weapons he can find. And bring us a good, fast space cruiser.
What would he do with the ship we have now?
Bring it along, too. It's equipped with magnetic grapples, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then all he needs to do is pick out a likely-looking battle cruiser, clamp onto it with the grapples, and bring it back here.
How about the chances of his rocket trail being picked up?
No chance. That ship carries a rocket dampener, which I hooked in. It'll leave such a faint trail that the wind will blow it away within a few minutes. Isn't as though he were flying out in space, you know, where there's no wind and a rocket trail stays put.
Okay. But don't you think this business of taking a lot of weapons from small towns is dangerous? Suppose somebody sees him taking them and gets suspicious.
Then all he needs to do is doff his flying helmet, look official, and pass some remark about being hot on the trail of Killer Kane and Ardela.
And what about the chances of Barney's trying to double-cross us?
Don't worry. The psychic restriction ray has taken care of that. Well, here he is now.
And look at him. What happened to you, Barney?
I'm all right, Miss Adela. Only I got kind of wet coming through the falls.
Oh, why didn't you use a force ray to push the water aside?
On account of I had to use both hands to carry this radio. Here you are.
Did you get that wet, too?
Yeah, Chief. I guess maybe it did a little.
Then we'll have to wait for it to dry out.
Maybe it'll work anyway. I'll plug it in and see.
All right. Now, Barney.
Yeah?
Just as soon as it gets dark, I want you to go out and get us a lot of equipment from the small towns that lie to the west of us.
Sure, Chief. Only wouldn't it be a good idea if I was to take along some atomic bombs with me?
Atomic bombs?
Sure. To blow up the municipal storehouse where I'm going to get the stuff.
No, Barney. This is one time you'll have to go about it very quietly and unobtrusively.
Yeah, very Huh?
Now listen carefully, and I'll tell you what you're to get. For transportation, of course, you can use the rocket plane. That's equipped with these gyros.
There you are, Doctor. The photoelectric cell unit is in.
Fine, Doc. Bring it over here, and we'll complete assembly of this gyro cosmic relativator.
Right, sir. There you are.
Will this be as good as the one on the ship Barney took away?
It's exactly the same, Wilma. With it, you'll be able to take off and immediately be going at tremendous speed without any loss of time for pickup.
And Killer Kane, beware.
Fasten the power terminal line, Buck, and it'll be all finished.
Okay. There you are.
Good. Now, it's all ready to be put aboard your space cruiser.
Well, then, let's go. I want to get back on Barney's rocket trail before the wind blows it away.
Right. Coming with us, Doctor?
No, Wilma, I'm afraid not. I'm very anxious to investigate the possible supply of impenetrite ore near Omaha just as quickly as I can.
Which will mean more of these relativators.
I hope so.
You want to open the door for me, please, Wilma, so I can carry this one out to the ship?
Surely, Buck.
Perhaps I'd better go out there with you to make sure you get it installed properly.
I wish you would, Doctor.
There you are, Buck.
Thanks. No, look.
What?
Well, yes. And it's coming right down here.
But so fast. Who's at the controls?
Whoever it is, he's going to crack up.
Then look out.
Get back, Wilma. Here he comes.
He goes.
Well, I wonder who and what under the sun that was. I certainly hope none of our friends got hurt. Fellas and girls, if you'd like a real treat, a wonderful treat, get yourself a creamsicle on a handy stick. Does that hit the spot? A great big chunk of delicious ice cream covered with chocolate fudge or pure fruit flavors. What a nickel's worth. Nourishing, cooling, and made fresh every day in only the best, sunny, inviting ice cream plants. Remember, whether you buy creamsicle, popsicle, or fudgicle, be sure they're genuine. Look for the U.S. registered trademark name printed right on the bag.
Kids, save those bags. Get swell free gifts. Skates, table tennis, a sleeping doll, a wristwatch. Gee, everything you always wanted. But start right away. Because the more bags you save, the better presents you get.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous winner of the typical American boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, everybody. Say, I just finished a game of table tennis. Boy, what a fast game. You should see my set. It's a honey.
And you can get a table tennis set free, just like Pete's. Yes, table tennis and lots of other wonderful presents, just for saving bags from delicious Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. Listen to these gifts. A real movie camera, a wallet, roller skates, wristwatch, beautiful jewelry, a sleeping doll, fishing tackle. And that's only a few. So you'd better start saving bags right now. Enjoy genuine Popsicle, Fudgicle, or Creamsicle on a handy stick every day. They taste wonderful. Help to make you strong, too, because they're made from choice, fresh, healthful ingredients. The biggest nickel's worth anywhere.
Hey, kids, get a free Popsicle gift list from your ice cream store. Tells you how many bags to save for the presents you want. And there's a free coupon with that list worth 10 bags to get you started.
Well, now let's see. Kane and Ardale, you remember, have established a headquarters at the ruins of ancient Philadelphia and have put back Barney under the psychic restriction ray. Buck and Wilma, meanwhile, have returned to Dr. Hewer's laboratory to install a gyro cosmic relativator on their ship. However, as they were about to make the installation, But let's pick up the story at that point. Okay? Then here we go, 500 years into the future.
Will you open the door, please, Wilma, so I can carry this relativator out to the ship?
Surely, Buck.
Suppose I go with you to make sure you install it properly.
I wish you would, Doctor.
There you are, Buck.
Thanks. Oh, look.
What?
Yes. And it's coming right down here.
What's so fast? Who's at the controls?
Whoever it is, he's going to crack out. Then look out.
Get back, Wilma. Here he comes.
Look out. Look. A rocket roadster. And look who was in it.
Willie.
Good heavens. Oh, what was he doing trying to fly this rocket roadster?
Here, help me get him free of this wreck.
Yes, by all means.
Willie, listen to me, Willie.
Here, I'll carry him into your laboratory, Doctor.
Yes, Buck. I'll clear off a table to lay him on.
Buck, is he still alive?
Sure he's alive, but that was a nasty crack-up.
Here now, Buck. You can lay him right down here on this table.
Right, sir. There he is.
Quick, Wilma. Plug in the healing ray while Buck and I pull it over here.
Yes, sir.
Buck, you hold the projection lens steady while I move it.
Go ahead, Doctor.
It's all plugged in, Doctor.
And it's in position over our little patient.
Oh, dear, I hope he isn't badly hurt. Poor little fellow.
Turn it on, Buck.
Yes, sir. But now, Doctor.
Yes?
What can this healing ray do for him? He's unconscious.
You seem to forget that an incidental function of this ray is stimulation of certain nerve centers. Buck.
Yes?
Go out and look at that roadster and see what its identification number is.
Its identification number? What'll that tell us, Doctor?
Go quickly.
Oh, but I don't see... Oh, sure. Yes, sir.
Would it help to splash a little water on his face, Doctor?
Well, it might, Wilma. Suppose you get some.
Yes, sir.
Willie. Wake up, Willie.
Here now.
Just a little bit on his forehead. Yeah, that's it.
Poor little fellow. What I can't understand is why he was trying to pilot that rocket roadster. Sure, he never handled one alone before.
Dr. Hewer.
Yes, Buck?
The plane Willie busted up out there is the same one Ardela was seen in, flying away from this laboratory.
Ah.
You know, right after she and Kane escaped from the prison here in Niagara.
What?
I was afraid of that. So without question, Black Barney's in their hands. And if that doesn't complicate the job of finding him, I don't know what I'm talking about.
How's Willie coming along, Doctor? Healing ray doing him any good?
I don't know, Buck. He hasn't shown any sign of responding to its effect as yet.
He's got to, Doctor. Oh, dear, I don't know what I'd do if anything would have happened to him.
Wouldn't it be better if we were to take him right over to the medical center?
I'm afraid to move him until we're sure that the healing ray is enough. And the important thing in a case like this is immediate treatment. Moving him would only mean a dangerous delay.
Poor little fellow.
Surely Barney wouldn't have let him hop off alone like that.
Oh, never, Buck. I'm sure of it. No matter what happened, Barney would never do anything that might place Willie in danger.
Yeah, you're right. Barney has devoted his whole life to caring for this boy.
They've been through some tough times together since Barney first picked him up. And always Barney's done everything possible to keep Willie from harm.
They're such a strange combination, Doctor.
Yeah.
How'd they ever happen to pair up together?
Well, it was right after the Mongol invasion of all our principal American cities, Buck.
Yeah?
Barney was an air pirate at the time, going around bombing and ransacking municipal storehouses.
I see.
And in the course of his travels, he stopped at what was left of Denver. There he found only one survivor, Willie. Not knowing what else to do with him, he pulled him into his rocket plane and took him along. And they've been together ever since.
Doctor, we've got to do something more for Willie.
Wait, Wilma.
Mr. Barney.
Willie.
Mr. Barney.
Poor kid.
Hey, Willie, easy, Willie. Mr. Barney isn't here, but we'll take care of you. Now just lie still. Lie still and rest.
But I want...
Yes, dear.
I want Mr. Barney.
You just lie still, as Dr. Hewer told you to. We'll get Mr. Barney for you as soon as we can.
You bet we will.
Where are you going, Buck?
To install a gyro cosmic relativator on our ship for immediate use.
Oh.
But I want Mr... Oh, Lieutenant Wilmer.
That's right, Willie. You just lie still a minute until you feel better.
And Dr. Hewer.
Hello, Willie. Well, How do you feel now?
Pretty good, but where did Mr. Barney go?
Don't you know?
Me?
Yes, Willie. Where did you leave Mr. Barney?
Oh, well, Kane.
Yes.
Killer Kane and Ardela took him.
Yes?
In a rocket plane. They took him away.
Yes? Yes, Willie?
Wait, Wilma. And Willie, you lie still for another minute and just look up at the healing ray.
Yes, sir.
Real quietly now. That's the boy.
How is he now, Doctor? Okay?
Wait, Buck. I'm afraid we let him overexert himself.
Oh.
I want him to get a little more of this healing ray before we talk with him further.
Oh, sure. But have you found out anything at all from him?
Kane and Ardela are involved in this, all right, Buck. Got the relativator installed?
Yes, sir. I set it right next to the metallic glass window in the rocket exhaust line.
That's right. You know, it's the light from the rocket exhaust that activates the relativator.
Mm-hmm.
Good. With that thing on board, we'll get somewhere.
Oh, thank goodness for that. It's about time we started getting somewhere, too.
Yes. Well, Willie. Now, how do you feel now?
All right, I guess.
That's the stuff.
Only my head hurts a little bit.
Well, I should think it would, Willie.
Oh, hello, Captain Rogers.
Hello. You've got a lump on your head there the size of an egg.
Have I? Honest?
Honest to goodness. Why, Willie, that's a bump to be really proud of.
I wonder what Mr. Barney'd say if he saw it. He'd probably think I was going to die or something.
Yes, sir, Willie, he probably would.
Well, you sound as though you're feeling pretty good now, Willie. Now, let's turn off the ray and let you sit in that easy chair there so we can talk to you. Here now.
Oh, I can walk all right, don't
No,
you?
sir, you're going to let me carry you. Now, here we go. Up there.
Say, this is like Mr. Barney carries me sometimes.
That's so? Now, here. Now, you just sit tight here.
Uh-huh.
Sure you feel all right now?
Oh, sure, I feel fine. Say, this is some bump on my head, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yes, sir. You want to feel it, Doctor?
No, thank you. But now, Willie.
Yes, Doctor?
Don't you know where Mr. Barney is?
Yes, Willie. And what under the sun happened to you two after we radioed for you to come back here to Niagara?
Well, we started back all right because Mr. Barney knew you wanted the Gyro cosmic relative.
Yeah?
But all of a sudden, the door on one of the lockers there in our control cabin popped open, and out came Killer Kane.
Buck, I knew it.
So, he stowed away on board your ship, huh?
Yes, sir. He had a rocket pistol, so Mr. Barney had to steer wherever he wanted to go.
And where was that?
Well, we kept flying straight southeast, until we came to the old ruins of Philadelphia.
Uh-huh. And if I remember correctly, that's where Professor Smith once had his headquarters. Professor Smith, the mad scientist.
Yes, sir, Captain Rogers, before he set up headquarters on the moon.
And did you land there, at the ruins of ancient Philadelphia?
Well, we landed near there, Captain. You see, Miss Ardale had already come over in the rocket roadster I just busted up, and she was waiting for us.
Yeah, so?
Well then, Mr. Kane made Mr. Barney and Ardale get on board our ship, and he made me get into the roadster, and he told me to... Oh, here, I almost forgot.
Forgot what, Willie?
This note he gave me to bring along.
Note?
Yeah. Here, Captain Rogers, it's for you.
Oh, let's see.
What does it say, Buck?
My dear friend Rogers.
Yes.
We are looking forward to a visit by you and Wilma at our new headquarters, if you can find them. Signed, Killer Kane and Ardela.
Buck, we've got to find that pair if it's the last thing we do on Earth.
Yes, but if I know that pair, you may have to go far beyond Earth to find them.
Right. But, Willie...
Yes, sir?
Where did Kane and Ardela go after they gave you this note to deliver?
Well, I don't know, Captain. I got in the roadster right away and started back here.
Well, did they take off in the big ship?
Well, I don't even know that, sir. I'm not very used to flying, you see, and I had to keep my eye on the controls all the time, so I didn't dare try to look back at them, too.
Yeah, I see.
But what made you crack up out here the way you did?
Well, I guess it was because I tried to do a fancy landing like Mr. Barney does, I guess, and I guess my hand must have slipped a little bit on the control lever.
Well, whatever it was, you certainly came down with a terrific bump.
Well, I'm all right now. I feel fine.
I hope so.
Just you wait till I get my hands on Mr. Kane for taking my Mr. Barney away from me. Yes, sir.
No, sir. You'd better take it easy for a while.
Yes, Willie. I think the best thing you can do is to take a nice little rest over at the medical center.
Oh, now, Doctor. Yes, I guess that is a good idea, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Well, sure. They treat you fine over there.
Oh, Willie, I thought that the last time you were over there, when you sprained your ankle or whatever it was, you wanted to get out.
Well, that was because I wanted to be with Mr. Barney. But with him not here, well, maybe I'd better just rest up until I feel all right again.
I thought you weren't feeling as well as you pretended.
Oh, you know how it is, Lieutenant Wilmer. We men don't like to admit it when we aren't feeling so good. You know how it is.
Sure I do, you old rascal.
You're nice, Lieutenant.
Well, now, look here, Willie.
Yes, Captain?
On this scrap of paper, I've drawn a rough map of the ruins of ancient Philadelphia and all the surrounding territory.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a pretty good map, Captain.
Yeah?
That's just what it looks like.
Well, can you show me where you and Barney and Kane set down your ship to meet Ardela?
Well, sure. Let me see. It was right about here.
Mm-hmm. A little west of the actual ruins, huh?
Yes, sir.
And which way was the ship facing when it lay there?
Well, this way, toward the east.
Toward the ruins of the city.
Yes, sir. Only I don't know if that's the way they flew when they took off.
Oh, that's all right. With the gas analyzer we've got aboard our cruiser, we'll find that out in jig time.
Unless there's been too much delay and the wind's blown the rocket trail away.
Oh, we'll have to take that chance. And with a relativator aboard, we can get down there in just a few minutes. Come on, Wilbur. Let's get underway.
Right. You coming too, Doctor?
No, I must try to dig up more impenetrash for making more gyro cosmic relativators. We know their importance now, and I want to make more of them as quickly as possible.
Well, come on, Wilma.
Don't use too much speed, Buck, just because you have a relativator. You'll be flying fairly low with that short distance, and you'll get lots of atmospheric friction.
Right, sir.
Goodbye, Captain, Lieutenant.
Bye, Willie.
Bye, Willie.
Boy, look at that takeoff.
Yes, Willie. They certainly make a fast one with that relativator. But now let's you and me go over to the medical center.
Oh, I don't think I need to go now, Doctor. I feel much better.
Do you?
Yes, sir. Now that I know Captain Rogers and Lieutenant Wilmer are going to bring my Mr. Barney back to me.
Of course they are.
Well, I hope Willie and Dr. Hugh are right. But if I know Kane and Ardela, Buck and Wilma won't have any easy job of it.
Gee, I never got so many letters in my whole life as I got now in one day. You should see all the kids that write me and say, thanks, Pete, for the camera, or thanks for the sleeping doll, or the wristwatch, or fishing tackle, or whatever other presents they got for popsicle bags. Gosh, they're wonderful presents. You can even get a movie camera. And all you do is save bags from popsicle, fudgicle, and creamsicle.
It's a great way to get free presents, isn't it? Just save up bags from the swellest tasting confections you can eat. Try a great big juicy popsicle today, made from fresh fruit flavor. That's why they taste so extra delicious.
And do they last?
A double portion popsicle on a handy stick costs only 5 cents. The biggest 5 cents worth anywhere and the purest.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous winner of the Typical American Boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, everybody. Do you know how many kids got popsicle presents today? 1,220. Say, maybe you were one of them. Doesn't it feel like Christmas when that package comes? And all you do to get one is save bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. What presents you get? A wristwatch, camera, field glasses, a wallet, a punching bag, sleeping dolls. Hundreds of gifts, all free. Ask your ice cream man for a free gift list. Tells you how many bags you need for each present.
Don't forget the coupon that comes with that gift list.
I should say not. That coupon is worth 10 bags.
You'll find valuable gift bags on every genuine Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. Those great big delicious confections frozen on a stick. Only 5 cents each. You can't beat that value. A great big, wholesome, refreshing, swell-tasting Popsicle, Fudgicle, or Creamsicle made by your ice cream maker right in town for only a nickel.
Save those bags, kids.
Now, Kane and Ardela, remember, are preparing to send Black Barney out from their new headquarters to obtain supplies. Buck and Wilma, meanwhile, have set out to pick up Barney's rocket trail with a gas analyzer, leaving Dr. Hugh and Willie at the old scientist's laboratory immediately after Buck and Wilma have left. Now, here we go, 500 years into the future.
Yes, sir. I certainly hope Captain Rogers and Lieutenant Wilmer find Mr. Barney now.
They should, Willie. They not only have a gas analyzer aboard their speed cruiser, with which they can pick up his rocket trail, but a gyrocosmic relativator as well.
That gyrocosmic thing is what made him go so fast when they took off, isn't it?
Yes, sir. They attained their maximum cruising speed immediately, without any loss of time for pickup.
Boy, that's some invention.
Well, it's worked out even better than I expected. But how are you feeling now, Willie?
Well, I'm feeling fine now, Dr. Hewer. Only, I'm afraid I couldn't walk very well, though.
You certainly had a bad crack up in that rocket roadster.
I know it.
Well, the ambulance from the medical center will be here in a few minutes, and... Willie.
Yes, sir?
I have an idea. And I believe it's one that'll throw Kane and Ardela completely off their guard.
Well, what is your idea, Dr. Hewer?
If that pair are as clever as I think they are, they'll be on the lookout for any radio messages that'll indicate we're searching for them.
Oh, sure they will.
Furthermore, they're probably very much interested in knowing whether you got here all right with that message to Buck.
Oh, sure they are, Doctor, only I don't see...
Exactly why my little plan should work. I'll get in touch with Central Radio Bureau immediately.
Oh, I see. And have them send out a call for Mr. Barney.
No, Willie. We mustn't let it be known that Barney's missing, unless it becomes absolutely necessary. After all, you know, he's Prime Minister of Mars, and he's a pretty important person.
Sure he is, Doctor. He's very important. That's why Killer Kane wanted to get hold of him.
Yes. Now, you wait. I'll put through this call. That'll give Buck and Wilma some help in locating Barney. Calling Central Radio Bureau. This is Dr. Hewer calling Central Radio Bureau.
What happened to Miss Ardela, huh? She's in the little room off this laboratory, Barney, trying to dry out the radio you brought in from the rocket plane.
Oh, on account of I got it wet coming through the falls that hides the door to this place, huh?
That's right. Don't worry about her.
Well, I wasn't. But there's another radio on the ship, you know. I only brought in a portable one.
And as soon as it's dried out, it'll be all we need.
Well, now, listen, Kane.
Well?
Me and you and all the rest of us know that the only reason I'm willing to work for you is because you put me under the cycle description rate.
So?
Well, it's all right. And I'm going to stick with you and all that sort of stuff. So you don't need to worry about nothing. But listen.
Yes?
Didn't you say something about me going out to pick up a lot of supplies and stuff for us?
You're right. And as long as it has become dark outside, there's no reason why you can't leave right away.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Now, just what kind of stuff do you want me to get?
Everything you can lay your hands on that can possibly be of use to us. And if you pick one up and haul it back here on the magnetic grapples of your ship without attracting undue attention...
I know, a gyrocosmic thing.
Dolt. The only gyrocosmic relativator in existence is the one we have here.
Oh, yeah.
No, Barney. We need a fast, well-armed fighting cruiser.
Okay, I'll get it.
Disintegrators, rocket pistols and guns, non-recoil energy projectors, a thermic radiation projector, if you can find one.
Well, that sends out a heat ray, don't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
A paralysis ray. Get anything that you can lay your hands on. Yeah. Now, in order to successfully carry through our campaign against Rogers, we've got to have enough equipment to stand off a space army.
Well, just you leave it to me, and I'll get plenty of stuff.
Well, see that you do.
But do I have to do it all at night?
Yes. At least until we find out more about what Rogers and his friends are doing toward finding you.
But I thought you thought nobody'd know I was gone outside of Niagara.
Until we know that definitely, you'd best make your raids at night and on small cities. And take only a little from each one.
Okay.
And above all, don't stop anywhere near Niagara. And probably the best place for you to begin is out west of here. Avoid any rocket ships you may see along the way, too.
Yeah, Kane, I'll do that. And all at night.
Absolutely. Unless,
Unless what?
It might be a good plan for you to stop in, say, the small Midwestern towns in broad daylight.
Huh?
In spite of the fact you're the Martian Prime Minister.
Yeah.
You're well enough known down here on Earth to walk into a small town and get most anything you want, just for the asking. Provided, of course, the people would have no reason to suspect you're working for me.
Yeah, but for the time being, I think I'd better get the stuff on the sly like you said at first.
Yes, I guess so. Now, let's get out to the ship so you can take off.
Okay, Chief. You got a force ray so as to push away the waterfall that's outside the door, huh?
Yeah, right here. Come along.
Yeah. Well, that water certainly covers up the entrance of our headquarters, don't it?
Perfectly. Now be ready to jump through it when I turn on this force ray.
All ready? Okay. Come on. All right. Yes, sir. Anybody could come down here in Smitty's old headquarters and poke around, and hey, they'd never know there was a laboratory back there.
Well, let's go on through this corridor and up to the ground level of the ship.
Yeah.
You left a passage through the pile of dirt covering the ship so we can get through it, didn't you?
Sure. Don't you see her there?
Good. Then you can get aboard and take off right away. Get in, Bonnie.
Okay, Chief.
And remember, carefully avoid any ships you may spot flying around. If anything happens to you to crab your act, or if anybody becomes suspicious of what you're doing, you ought to forget that you ever saw me or know where I am.
Chief, you ain't got a thing to worry about. Just you leave everything to me. I got it all organized out as to what I'm going to do, and I'll be back in a few hours with all the weapons and stuff you could want.
Fine.
Hey, see? Now, first thing I'll do is turn on this here now radio in here.
And keep it on all the time you're in the air.
Yeah.
All right, Bonnie.
Radio Bureau,
Close your middle door
Niagara.
and...
General call from Central Radio Bureau.
Listen.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
All stations are ordered to be on the lookout for Willie, well-known protege of Black Barney, Prime Minister of Mars.
Hey!
Quiet.
The only clue as to his whereabouts is a small piece of his flying jacket found beside a badly wrecked air roadster in a lonely field, northeast of Niagara.
Perfect.
All available citizens are urged to aid in the search for Willie. That is all.
Bonnie, that's exactly what I wanted to know.
You mean that Willie didn't get there to deliver the note to Captain Rogers?
No. It shows that because of your position as Prime Minister of Mars, they don't dare broadcast word of your disappearance.
Oh.
We've nothing to fear. Now keep clear of Niagara, and you can work in broad daylight. Do anything you want.
Yes, sir.
So go to it, Bonnie. The field is yours. Oh, and be sure you keep the rocket dampener hooked in to change your ship's rocket trail.
Okay, Chief. Here I go.
Wait, Wilma. Let's get the rest of this message.
Okay, Buck.
All available citizens are urged to aid in the search for Willie. That is all.
Good. Good for Dr. Hewer.
You think he had them broadcast that message, Buck?
Sure. In the hopes that Kane and Ardela would pick it up and think they're safe as long as they stay clear of Niagara.
But why wasn't anything said of Barney?
You don't make it public when the Prime Minister of a neighboring planet has disappeared. You'd have a nice interplanetary situation on your hands.
Oh, I see.
Sure, and if Barney's with Kane and Ardela, all the looking that needs to be done is for them.
Yep. Thank goodness this rocket trail is holding out so well.
I guess the wind hasn't blown it around so badly after all.
And as Willie told us, we're still headed in the general That's Dr. Hewer calling up.
Yeah, on the confidential wavelength. I'll take it.
Dr. Hewer calling.
Hello, Doctor?
Have you found Barney's rocket trail all right, Buck?
Yes, sir. And we're bearing down on it as fast as we can, sir.
Well, don't try to travel too fast. Remember, you're flying pretty low, and too much speed will create dangerous atmospheric friction.
Yes, sir. And, Doctor...
Yes?
The trail is still leading us toward the ruins of ancient Philadelphia.
Well, of course, Kane and Ardela may have left that region just as soon as they sent Willie on with us in the rocket roadster.
Probably. But at any rate, we're on a hot trail, and the wind doesn't seem to have done it much damage.
Good.
Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Wilma.
Doctor, that was a great idea to send out the message about Willie.
Well, I hope it does us some good. Kane's a mighty clever chap, you know.
Entirely too clever.
In fact, I shouldn't be at all surprised to have him discover this confidential wavelength we usually use.
Oh, hardly, Doctor, unless he digs out the plans of the receivers you've built.
But now, look here, Buck.
Yes?
I've called you because I probably won't be able to get in touch with you again for some time.
Huh? Oh, why not, Doctor?
Well, I'm going out to Omaha to call on Elmo.
Oh.
You remember him?
Oh, sure do. He's the chap we rescued from that little planetoid that lies out in space, just beyond the orbit of Mars.
Uh-huh. And as head of the city of Omaha, he's doing a splendid job.
Be sure to remember us to him.
I'll be glad to. As you've no doubt guessed, I want to see him regarding a possible source of impenetrite ore in his vicinity.
Oh, good stuff. And don't worry about us. With this rocket trail holding out so well, we'll have Kane and Ardela and Barney back in Niagara before you know it.
Well, I hope so. Good luck.
Thanks. Signing off.
Signing off.
Well.
Look, Buck. We're nearing the ruins of old Philadelphia.
Then I'll cut down the power. Funny, the trail doesn't drop down toward the ground now, toward wherever they stopped to let Willie off.
Yes. I wonder...
Keep an eye on the dials now, and... Whoa! Here's where they stopped, all right.
Good.
Thing to do now is pick up the trail they left when they started off again.
Sure, and it shouldn't be so hard to find with this Gyro cosmic relativator to start us off.
Right. We'll just start a quick circle. Look on the gas analyzer dial.
Yep, we're on it all right.
Yes, sir, and this is the trail that'll lead us straight to Killer Kane and Ardela, or my name is... Wilma.
What's the matter?
It's gone.
What?
The trail is completely stopped.
Yes, the trail is gone. Because of the way Kane threw in a rocket dampener when he made that trail with Barney's ship, they'll never pick it up again.
Did you get any popsicle presents yet? If you never let a day go by without saving popsicle, fudgicle, or creamsicle bags, you watch those bags pile up. Before you know it, you'll have enough for a fountain pen or table tennis, a wallet or a Buck Rogers telescope, games, books, lots of things. Get everybody eating popsicle, fudgicle, and creamsicle, and they can give you their bags.
Just get Mom and Dad to try a creamsicle and see how fast they buy more. Everybody loves a genuine creamsicle. That great big chunk of delicious ice cream on a stick, thickly coated with wonderful fresh fruit flavors or creamy chocolate fudge. And look how much you get for a nickel. Pure, wholesome ingredients, too, full of the energy we all need. It makes my mouth water just to think about a creamsicle. Be sure you get a real creamsicle with the name printed right on the bag. It's the United States registered trademark, and it stands for top quality.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous fellow who won the contest for the typical American boy, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, everybody. Did you send in any popsicle bags for presents yet? Gosh, it feels like Christmas when the postman brings you a package. Better read Popsicle, Creamsicle, or Fudgicle every day and save up those bags.
And be sure you get genuine Popsicle, Creamsicle, or Fudgicle, fellas and girls. Those names must be printed right on the bag if you want free presents. And if you want to get frozen confections that are extra delicious and extra big, genuine Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. My, are they good, and good for you. When you're tired, they pick you right up because they're full of nourishment, full of energy, and so refreshing.
Oh, boy. Do they taste delicious?
Sure they do, because they're made fresh every day of the finest ingredients, made only by the best ice cream manufacturers in town, the biggest 5 cents worth anywhere.
Yeah, man. Say, kids, ask at your ice cream store for a free illustrated Popsicle gift list. A free coupon comes with it, worth 10 bags.
And now let's get back to the thrilling adventures of Buck Rogers in the 25th century. And let's see. Kane and Ardela, you remember, sent Black Barney out from their secret headquarters to get supplies. Buck and Wilma, meanwhile, have been following Kane's old rocket trail toward the ruins of ancient Philadelphia. But as we pick up our story tonight, we find that the trail has suddenly stopped. Let's join Buck and Wilma there in the control cabin of their rocket plane. Here we go, 500 years into the future.
Sir, Wilma, the trail has dropped right off.
But, Buck, if Kane turned off the power completely, his ship would drop down and crack up.
Not if he used plenty of inertron lifting power. Yes, and it's an old trick of his to zigzag and coast in order to hide his rocket trail.
What are we going to do?
Cruise around in circles, I guess, until we pick up the trail where it starts again.
Better take it easy, then. In this darkness, he might be only a couple of miles away from us, and we wouldn't be able to see him.
Unless we spotted the flames from his rocket tubes.
Yes, that's true.
I'll start swinging us around, and I'll keep an eye on the gas analyzer dials while you keep a sharp eye ahead.
Okay, shoot.
And hang on, because I'm going to fly in a tight circle.
Sure. Gas analyzer say anything yet?
Well, the direction needle gives a little hop now and then, but it's only from traces of old rocket gas that may have been left by most any ship anytime.
Well, when we do pick up Kane's trail again, we can be sure it'll be plenty strong.
And so fresh we can't miss it. The only thing that can keep us from finding it is a cyclone.
This slow circling around takes so much time, though.
Yeah, and lets Kane get farther and farther away from us.
Just what I would... Huh?
It's a rocket trail, Wilma. Heading almost due west.
Kane.
Must be. Watch the analyzer dials turn up to...
What's the matter, Buck?
Say, didn't that ship Kane took give us readings of 7, 26, and 1.9?
That's right.
But look, the dials say 122, 13, and 4.
Sounds like the exhaust from a ship that carries a rocket dampener.
Yes, sir. Was there one of them aboard when Barney and Willie first took off in it?
I doubt it, Buck. Just before it was lined up for the test flight, Dr. Hewer had every bit of unnecessary equipment taken off.
You sure?
Quite sure.
Well, let's call Dr. Hewer by radio and check on it.
Okay. Say, didn't Dr. Hewer say he was going out to Omaha to look over the impenetrite situation?
Yeah, but surely he hasn't got started out there yet. Go ahead and call him while I keep us circling around in the hope of picking up another rocket trail.
Right.
Better use the confidential wavelength, too.
Got it. Calling B121. Calling B121.
This dampened rocket trail is a strong one, though, Wilma.
Wilma Deering, calling B121.
And whoever made it must have been traveling pretty fast, because there's so much of it. Makes a real impression on the dial readings.
Calling B121. Of course, Buck.
Yeah?
Most any commercial ship might have made that trail.
But why would a commercial ship use a dampener?
Yes, that's true. Calling B121.
You better try Central Radio Bureau. If the doctor had taken his confidential wave receiver to Omaha with him, well, he'd have answered before this.
I guess so.
And if Central Radio aren't able to connect you with him, they should at least be able to get a message through to him.
I'll try them. You know, as I want them to know why I'm calling the doctor, though.
Oh, don't worry about that. They've handled more confidential messages and handled them well than you could shake a stick at.
Okay. Calling Central Radio Bureau.
Doggone it, I'd certainly like to know about this dampened
Central
rocket
Radio,
trail.
Davidson speaking.
This is Lieutenant Wilma Deering.
Oh, yes, Lieutenant.
I've been trying to reach Dr. Hewer, but haven't had much luck. Do you know where he is?
Well, he's on his way out to the city of Omaha, Lieutenant.
Oh, already?
Yes, to consult with Elmo, the head of that city. Regarding a possible source of impenetrite, I believe.
Well, have you any idea how soon he'll arrive there?
Yes, about 6 or 7 minutes, I should judge.
Uh-huh.
Is what you have to say to him of a confidential nature?
Well, yes. Why?
Well, then, I'd suggest you wait a few minutes and call on a wavelength of 8.3 centimeters.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that'll get your call directly to Elmo's office without danger of interception.
Well, thank you very much. I'll do it. Signing off.
Signing off.
You hear that, Buck?
Yeah. Give the doctor time to get there and then call him.
Right.
Meantime, we'll just keep circling around and hope and pray the gas analyzer will pick up the trail we want.
Come in.
Well, good evening, Elmo.
Why, Dr. Hewer. Great day. I'm glad to see you.
It's good to see you again. And how are you?
Splendid, thank you, sir. Sit right down and be comfortable.
Thank you. Yeah, before we go any further, let me congratulate you on the way you've been handling things here in Omaha.
Aye?
Yes, indeed. You and your people have done a mighty fine job of things since that time we picked you up on the little planetoid out near the orbit of Mars.
But if it weren't for you and Captain Rogers, we might still be out there on that desolate little world. How is Captain Rogers, by the way? And Lieutenant Wilmer?
Both fine. They asked me to convey their best regards to you.
Well, return them, Doctor, 1,000-fold. And when are those two coming out here to visit me?
Well, not for some time, I'm afraid.
Oh, engaged on another thrilling trip into interplanetary space?
No, Elmo. No, something far more important than that.
Really? What?
Well, please remember that what I tell you is in the strictest confidence.
Oh, most assuredly, Doctor.
Have you ever heard of Killer Kane and Ardela?
I certainly have, sir. They're the people who tried to burn up our little planetoid before you rescued us from it.
Oh, of course. Yes. I'd forgotten that incident.
Yes, but it's true that I haven't heard much about them since that time.
Well, not long after, we succeeded in locating them on another small world. One that lies considerably further out in our solar system than the one you and your people occupied.
Well, could it be one of the black planetoids we've all heard so much about?
Yes, one that lies out toward the orbit of Pluto.
You found them there, eh?
After a rather strenuous time of it, we captured them and brought them back here to Earth. They were placed in the Niagara Municipal Prison on a sentence of life imprisonment.
Well, then, congratulations. That's splendid.
It was splendid, Elmo.
Well, what do you mean, sir?
Well, they're at large again.
Great day.
Buck and Wilma are right now doing everything they can in an attempt to run them down again.
Well, have Buck and Wilma found any clues as to their whereabouts?
None very tangible, I'm afraid.
Well, Doctor, I have boundless faith in those two. If anyone is capable of bringing the criminals to justice, they are.
I agree with you, Elmo, wholeheartedly. But you see, the situation's been somewhat complicated by the fact that Black Bonnie...
Yes, Doctor?
I quite forgot. I really haven't told you the purpose of my visit.
But you started to say something about...
What I came here for is to determine whether we'll be able to get a worthwhile amount of impenetrite from the ore fields we discovered near the city a couple of years ago. A new instrument I've developed requires that certain parts be made of impenetrite.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you...
Ordinarily, we get that element from far off Pluto, but if the ore here is rich enough, save a great deal of time and expense to use it.
I'm afraid that's not, Doctor.
Oh, you've already investigated?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was taking some pride in the fact that we'd be able to surprise you by having gone ahead with the necessary experiments entirely on our own initiative.
And the result of these experiments?
Well, samples of the ore with complete analyses probably are waiting for you at your laboratory in Niagara now.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, you must have passed a ship that was carrying them on your way out here just now.
Oh, that's splendid. Well, then I'll go on back right away. I really had no business leaving Niagara tonight. There's so much demanding my attention there. But it was a good excuse to see and talk with you again, so I just hopped into my ship and came along.
Well, I'm mighty glad you did.
But now I must go. I'll go out the back door of this office if you don't mind, because it's more convenient to where I park my rocket plane.
Why, certainly, Doctor. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And the next time you come to Omaha, you must plan to stay longer. And bring Buck and Wilma with you.
All right, Elmo. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor. Yes?
Oh, hello there, Elmo.
Oh, Black Barney.
Yeah. Surprised to see me?
Oh, yes. Too bad you couldn't have arrived a moment ago.
Huh?
Well, Dr. Hewitt just left.
What was he doing here?
Well, really more of a visit than anything else. At least it turned out that way.
Oh.
What can I do for you, my friend?
Well, Elmo, I'm on what you might sort of call official business. Yeah. Maybe you don't know it, but Killer Kane and Ardela,
yes, I know. Dr. Hewitt just told me about them.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Well, did he tell you I'm out looking for him?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I am, see? And I gotta have a lot of equipment and stuff. Can you give me it?
Well, I'd be glad to.
Okay. I got a ship parked out front so as we can start loading the stuff and things onto it right away. Your men can pick out my ship on account of it has a rocket dampener onto it.
Well, yes, of course.
Now, first I gotta have a battle cruiser and a long-range atomic disintegrator, paralysis rays and rocket guns, and a lot of other stuff.
Doggone it, Wilma, I wonder why we don't pick up that rocket trail. I mean the right one.
Well, Buck,
Yeah?
you suppose Kane could have done something to Barney's ship that would make it leave the kind of trail we found?
Sure, it's possible. It's much more likely, though, that the ship has a rocket dampener on it we don't know anything about. But say, isn't it about time you put through that call to Dr. Hewitt to check up on it?
Oh, yes, I guess.
What's the matter?
Nothing, but directly below us.
What?
The ruins of ancient Philadelphia, where Professor Smith, the mad scientist, had his headquarters.
By golly, Wilma, I wonder.
Just what I was thinking.
Yes, sir. Hang on while I swing it.
No, listen.
Calling Buck Rogers.
It's Dr. Hewitt. I'll take it. Hello, Doctor?
Buck, I'm on my way back to Niagara from Omaha.
So soon?
Yes, I just got a call from Elmo to the effect that shortly after I left there, Black Barney dropped in on him.
What?
Barney picked up a lot of equipment, a whole rocket plane full, as a matter of fact, and then left immediately.
Great day.
So my suggestion is that you and Wilma in your fast ship go out there to Omaha immediately.
Doctor, we're on our way.
Good.
Wilma, hang on for power.
Well, chasing out there after Barney are really getting somewhere. But I'm certainly sorry that it didn't stop and investigate the old headquarters of Professor Smith.
Gee, some excitement. Do I feel warm? Wish I had a great big frozen fudgicle. Say, can you imagine anything better than that creamy chocolate fudge frozen ice cold on a stick?
Well, I can't. Fellas and girls, what's the best, purest, biggest nickel's worth you can get? Right, a fudgicle. Delicious and full of healthful energy. Yes, a genuine fudgicle is as rich in milk solids as a glass of milk. Swell to eat, easy to digest, and made fresh every day. Don't forget to save bags from Fudgicle, Popsicle, and Creamsicle for those wonderful free prizes. Cameras, dolls, sweatshirts, and just lots of other things.
Listen, kids, be sure to get your free Popsicle gift list at your ice cream store. Don't take no for an answer. Buck and Wilma's picture's on it, too.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Buck Rogers is on the air, brought to you by the makers of Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle, those delicious frozen confections on a stick. And now a message from the famous winner of the Typical American Boy contest, Popsicle Pete.
Hello, everybody. Listen. Did you hear that? I just hit the bullseye of my target set. Gee, that's some target set. It's one of the Popsicle presents. You can get it free. And all you do is say bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle.
Yes, you can get hundreds of gifts, wonderful gifts, too, for those bags. Things like Pete's target set, a wristwatch, a movie camera, skates, and a fountain pen, dolls, musical instruments. Better start saving right away. Those bags are as good as money. You'll find them wrapped around each genuine Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. And boy, will you love those great, big, swell-tasting frozen confections on a handy stick. Get one every day at your ice cream store. The biggest nickel's worth you ever saw. And wholesome, too. They couldn't be more pure if Mother made them. Made by a fine local ice cream manufacturer.
And say, don't forget to get a free Popsicle gift list at your ice cream store. If they have none, tell them to get some from their ice cream manufacturers. There's a free coupon on it worth 10 bags for gifts.
Now, in our last episode, you remember, Dr. Hewer learned that Black Barney had visited Elmo in the 25th century city of Omaha and departed with a rocket plane loaded with equipment. So the good doctor flashed word of it to Buck and Wilma, who are now flying toward Omaha at top speed. Let's join them by turning the dial that'll project us ahead in time. All ready? Then here we go, 500 years into the future.
Couple of minutes now, Wilma, and we'll land in Omaha.
Right, Buck, and you better cut down on the power. I can see the big municipal building dead ahead.
That's the place we're going to land.
Good. I hope Elmo knows where Barney went after he left him.
So do I. Too bad Elmo didn't think to call Dr. Hewer before Barney pulled out of this city. If he had, the doctor would have tipped him off, and Elmo could have figured out some way to keep Barney here until we arrive.
Well, there's no use mourning over it now. Only thing we can do is hope to get information that'll give us a clue as to where we can pick up Barney's trail again.
Hey, listen, Wilma.
Yeah?
Barney's suddenly turning up in Omaha kind of makes one of our theories about this whole business look foolish.
What do you mean, Buck?
Well, when little Willie arrived back in Niagara and told us what had happened to them near the ruins of ancient Philadelphia, we pretty much decided that Barney was in Kane's hands.
See, that's right.
So, how could Barney come to Omaha alone?
Right.
Surely Kane wouldn't have let him wander off. And if Barney escaped from Kane, why under the sun didn't he tear right onto Niagara to look for us? What'd be his idea in coming here to Omaha to pick up a lot of supplies?
I don't know, Buck. Let's check with Elmo about the kind of supplies he took.
Yeah, good idea. Well, here we are. We'll coast down to a landing.
Landing on the platform outside Elmo's office?
Right. Dr. Hewer probably told him to expect us.
Probably.
Hang on for landing. Come on now.
Thanks, Buck. Oh, look.
Huh?
Here comes Elmo to meet us.
Oh, yeah. He must have heard us coming. Hello, Elmo.
Hello, Buck. How do, Wilma?
Hello there. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Sir, it seems like you folks never come out here to Omaha anymore.
Well, Elmo?
Yes, Buck?
Let's go into your office where we can talk without being disturbed.
Certainly. Come right this way.
We have plenty to talk about, Elmo, and the sooner we get to it, the better.
Of course. Right in here, please.
Thank you.
Just sit down and be comfortable.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now, Buck, when I called Dr. Hewer to tell him that our old friend Beck Barney had been here, he said he'd have you come to see me right away.
Right. We came tearing out here as fast as we could. Now, look here, Elmo.
Yes, Buck.
How much has Dr. Hewer told you about the Black Barney affair?
Well, as a matter of fact, he didn't mention Black Barney to me at all. That is, well, perhaps I'd better tell you just what happened.
Right, shoot.
The purpose of Dr. Hewer's visit was to investigate our impenetrite ore.
Yes?
But I'd already shipped samples to his laboratory, so he prepared to leave me right away.
Yes?
When I asked him why he couldn't stay and visit with me for a while, he said, well, I'm pretty much tied up in Niagara just now, he said, because of the fact that Black Bar... And then he stopped.
Yes?
When I asked him to finish what he was saying, he changed the subject. Because of that, I couldn't help feeling that Barney must be involved in trouble of some kind.
Oh, I see. But then when did Barney get here?
Immediately afterward. And that's why I radioed to Dr. Hewer to tell him about it, just as soon as Barney left.
Too bad you couldn't have called the doctor while Barney was still here.
Yeah, well, that was hardly possible, Wilma, because, well, I stayed right with Barney all the time he was here. And I was only acting on a hunch and calling Dr. Hewer at all.
Well, what we want to know now is why Barney came here and what sort of equipment and supplies he took away with him.
Yes.
You know, Buck, when he first came into my office here, I told him Dr. Hewer had just left.
Yes?
And now that I've had a chance to think it over, I believe he looked somewhat relieved when I assured him the doctor had gone.
I don't see why that should be.
Well, neither do I. Go on, Elmo.
Well, then Barney told me what I just learned from the doctor about the escape of Kane and Ardela, that a great hunt for them was underway.
Did Barney tell you anything about where Kane and Ardela might be or what they might be doing?
What, Buck?
No, he did say that he was hot on their trail and needed a lot of equipment to completely prepared if he should run across them.
Well, now, there's something screwy about this whole business. And to be honest with you, it has me kind of worried.
Why do you say that, Buck?
Because to me it can only mean one thing, and I don't like it.
Well, don't keep us in the dark. What are you driving at?
Well, maybe it'll sound cockeyed to you, but I believe Black Barney must have some idea of where Killer Kane and Ardela have established their headquarters.
You really think so?
Yes, sir. But instead of reporting to us, he's going right ahead and try to run them down single-handed.
It wouldn't be the first time he's tried something like that.
Yeah, that's just what I'm thinking of. I can understand his intentions well enough. He simply wants to save us a lot of trouble and the chance of running into any danger.
But it's still not a good idea, especially with Killer Kane involved. Kane's bad. He's plenty bad. And he's clever, too. And he could twist Barney round his little finger.
Don't I know it. Elmo.
Yeah?
What sort of equipment did you give to Barney?
Well, the first thing he wanted was a spaceship. A battle cruiser.
Yes?
I obtained that for him from the municipal airport.
Oh, then he must have left his own ship here.
No, Buck.
No?
No, he hooked the cruiser right onto his own with magnetic grapples, and he took it along that way.
Oh, well, that wasn't so dumb.
Just what sort of cruiser did you give him, Elmo?
Well, it's just exactly like that one of yours, Wilma. Exactly like it.
And what else did he take? What else did he take?
Several long-range disintegrators,
atomic space bombs.
How under the sun would he expect to use those?
Heaven only knows. What else, Elmo?
Well, let me see. Well, there was a high-powered rocket gun, non-recoil energy projectors, a thermic radiation projector, and...
In other words, nothing but weapons of all shapes and sizes.
That's right. He loaded both ships with all they'd hold.
Sounds as though he was trying to equip a whole space army to go after Kane and Ardela, doesn't it?
I should say so.
Elmo, while I think of it...
Yes?
Did you notice anything unusual about the ship he used to come here?
Well, I don't think so.
No, huh?
Well, now wait a minute, Buck.
Yes?
Buck, when he took off, his ship accelerated so quickly that it was out of sight before the sound of the rocket that died in my ear.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it possible for a ship to take off so quickly without injuring those inside of it.
Same ship he left Niagara in, all right.
No doubt about it.
And the reason he could take off so quickly is because it's equipped with a new invention of Dr. Hewer's.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but there was something else unusual about that ship, too.
Well, what was that?
It had on rocket dampeners, like you usually find on interplanetary freight ships.
Oh, even that checks up, Elmo. You see, we've been following a rocket trail, and a fresh one, too. But it's given us readings on the gas analyzer dials we've never even heard of before.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, and the only thing we could figure out was that the trail was made by a ship carrying a rocket damper.
Right. But what it means now is that we have no way of determining what the analyzer readings of Barney's trail should be.
Worse luck.
But now, Elmo.
Yeah?
We're leaving you right away, so if Dr. Hewer should happen to contact you, tell him we're on our way back to the ruins of ancient Philadelphia.
I don't understand, Buck. Why do you seem to think Black Barney has so much to do with your effort to locate Kane and Ardela?
Barney fell into their hands shortly after they escaped from the Niagara Municipal Prison. Evidently, he's escaped from them. But why he hasn't gotten in touch with us is something I can't explain.
I see.
So, the reason we're going back to ancient Philadelphia is because it's the last place there was a definite trail from Barney's rocket ship. And it's the only place that would be logical for Barney working alone to hang out, or for Killer Kane and Ardela to have a headquarters.
Well, I'll make a point of calling Dr. Hewer and telling him that.
Good.
Right, Buck. It's a good idea to keep Dr. Hewer informed of everything we do.
Yeah. Now, come on, let's go out and hop into the ship.
Right with you, Buck.
And thanks very much for the information you've given us, Elmo.
You're more than welcome, Buck. I only hope that the next time you folks come out here, you'll spend a little more time visiting with me.
We'll try to.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Good luck.
In you go now, Wilma.
Thanks. All set.
And here we go. Boy, the gyro cosmic relativator on this ship certainly makes for a fast takeoff.
Certainly does. But now, Buck.
Yeah?
We've already decided why poor old Barney might want to try to run down Kane and Ardela alone.
Sure, to save other people a lot of trouble and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. But why under the sun would he want to get hold of all that equipment? All those weapons and rays and that battle cruiser?
Beyond me, Wilma. And I'm afraid we won't know until we find out where Barney is.
I'll have to congratulate you on the good job you did of bringing us equipment.
Thanks, Chief. I brung all I could carry.
Now, Barney, our first job will be to transfer the Gyro cosmic relativator onto the new battle cruiser. Now, we can take care of the weapons later.
Yeah, I'll take care of them later. Yeah.
But while I think of it...
Yeah?
Did you have any trouble getting hold of this stuff? Anybody get suspicious about your wanting it?
No, it was easy, Chief.
Ah.
All I'd done was drop in on my old friend Elmo.
Who's he?
Well, used to live on a little plasteroid out near Mars.
You mean the planetoid called us?
Yeah, that's the one. It's just a little plasteroid.
Planetoid.
Well, ain't that what I said?
You said plasteroid. Sounded like you were trying to say a combination of planetoid and asteroid.
Well, what's the difference between the two of them things, Chief?
There is no difference. Some people call them one, and some people call them the other, that's all.
And that shows where I'm way ahead of other people.
Eh?
Put them both together and they spell plasteroid, that's all.
All right, Barney, let it go. What did this man Elmo give you?
Oh, plenty of things. Rocket guns, disintegrators, thermic radiators, lots of stuff.
And he didn't raise a squawk when you asked for them?
That's where I showed how smart I am.
Oh, yes?
Yeah. I told him I was out trying to run down you and Ardela, and he'd give me everything I wanted.
Good work, Barney. Our plans are working out beautifully.
Yeah.
You see, having this additional equipment changes the aspect of our whole situation.
Yeah, Huh? What's that mean?
Barney, my boy, it means that up until now, our dear friend Rogers has been interested in only one thing, trying to run us down.
Yeah.
But if he's wise, from now on he'll do all he can to keep as far away from us as possible.
Well, Buck and Wilma will certainly have to watch their step with Kane so well prepared. And I wonder what Kane's next move will be. Fellas and girls, hurry up and send in bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle and get yourself grand gifts. Free. Get all the things you want but haven't got money to buy. Like a wristwatch, a candid camera, a sleeping doll, to mention only a few. Lots of gifts for Mother, too. An electric toaster, for instance, or handsome table silver or perfume. Just save bags from genuine creamsicle, fudgicle, and popsicle.
Popsicle? Oh, boy, that's what I want. A great big twin popsicle on a stick.
Well, now, I don't blame you, Popsicle Pete, because there's nothing that tastes better than a great big cool popsicle. It's like a long, delicious fruit drink frozen on a handy stick. Have one today and every day. Pure, wholesome, full of energy. Get your favorite fruit flavor. Made from real fruit. Only 5 cents for a big, refreshing twin popsicle.
And oh boy, does it last.
This is Chesterton Radio, your home for podcasts of works by G.K. Chesterton, plus drama, comedy, mystery, science fiction, big bands, and much more. The soundtrack to your Chesterton day at chestertonradio.com.